Of course I use Mr. Clean Magic Eraser to clean tough messes off my stovetop and bathtub. But then I discovered I can also use it to easily clean my patio furniture and even my shoes. I'm hooked.
And when wipes won't cut it, I use Magic Eraser Sheets. They're thin and flexible erasers, perfect for everyday messes, like gunk on my counters and sinks. They really are magical.
The reviews are in. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and Sheets make cleaning look easy.
Before I was adopted, I felt alone.
After spending years in foster care, Lexi worried that she and her brother were too old to be adopted. Thankfully, the siblings were adopted, with help from the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption.
I love teenagers. To see how brave Lexi was and how she opened herself up to being in a family, all of a sudden, she's holding my hand and calling me Mom. It was really special.
Every child, no matter their age, deserves to grow up in a safe, permanent home.
Children at every age experience challenges. Teenagers are more complex than young children, but in the best ways.
You're never too old for family. Learn how you can help children still waiting to be adopted from foster care at davethomasfoundation.org.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WTOT, W271DM Mariana, WVLQ Port St. Joe, ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the next evolution of sports talk radio. The biggest stories and the biggest reactions.
Now.
And now we're taking...
With the first pick.
This is the last ball you got to bat. The Inside Drive. From college to the pros. Interviews with the newsmakers, sports betting, your phone calls, and more. And now, The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey. Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hey, welcome back. You are listening to Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. And I know y'all have been sad since Monday, but the man, the myth, the legend, to quote James Hale, Jay Henley is back in the studio with us today. Jay, are you surviving the week?
I am. Good morning, Ryan.
Good.
It's been a week, and but I'm glad to be back in studio with you this morning, and we can talk a little sports or whatever may come up.
Yeah. We did talk a little bit some interesting sports on Tuesday. We talked a little bit about curling and some other interesting things. So
nice.
Yeah, no, it was good times.
Good.
It was good times. But you were listening to the Inside Drive, sitting inside the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine and Outdoor Studios. As always, 104.3 in Panama City, 101.9 along the Forgotten Coast. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. Just search ESPN Northwest Florida. Listen live on ESPNPC.com or just download that mobile app. It's the easiest thing to do. If you got an internet connection, you just open it up and the radio just comes right live to you. So we've been doing the high-low contest all week as well. It's going to be coming up again at 12:40. We're getting really close. If y'all pay attention, it's narrowed down, I want to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different. I had to count with my fingers there. Sometimes that math gets tough.
They can't see you.
No, they can if they're watching on Facebook.
That's true. That's true.
That's not an excuse. I can't have that be an excuse. Next time I'll cover up my hand.
Right.
But I think it's narrowed down to 5 numbers if you've been paying attention, listening to all the various shows here on the ESPN Northwest Florida network of family excitement. And you can always go back and check it out on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch. All you got to find about that hour and 40-minute mark into each show, give or take about 5 minutes, and you should be able to hear what that guest was. So
nice.
You really have no excuse to not, work smarter, not harder.
There you go. That's it.
It's as simple as that. You have an opportunity to find, if how bad you want that round of golf for 2. So I had asked Steve Wiley to send me a fun fact. Looks like he just did. I'll review that. Steve's
nice.
so good at that kind of stuff.
He is, man.
He's already fired up for our fantasy football league too out there at Bay Point Golf Club. For the record, I won that one last year.
Yeah.
I played in fantasy football leagues probably for the last 10 to 12 years. That's the first one I've ever won.
Really?
And I was way down halfway through the season. But it's all about making making the right moves at the right time, just like real NFL teams and all that stuff.
Now, is this Steve's rookie season, or did he play last year?
He played last year.
Okay.
And Steve is no rookie. That is for
He's
sure.
no rookie.
He is in analytics. He loves the draft, all that good stuff.
Okay.
I mean, I lean on him for a lot of information. That's
Nice.
for sure. And, but yeah, he sent a fun fact in. We'll review that there in just a little bit. Kramer Marine and Outdoor, they've just got some skeeter boats. They came in, saw them coming off the truck, unloaded them with the crane. So those things, as Chris said, it's normally Kramer Day, but I think he's out of town on vacation. So enjoy the vacation. But we'll talk a lot about the boats and everything. But he said I think they can float in mud, is what he said.
That's what he said. Yeah.
So those skeeter boats don't need a lot of I don't know what you call that.
Like an airboat.
Yeah, it's like an airboat. You ever been on an airboat?
I haven't. No, I want a Cajun to take me out on a nice southern Louisiana just airboat ride.
There you go.
Amazing.
There you go. So you can make it. I mean, you can do it right here in Panama City Beach.
Oh yeah. Paradise Adventures.
They don't have airboats.
They don't.
No.
Okay. Never mind.
No.
Yep, take that back. Okay.
No airboats for them. But we've done a couple of them, and we've done it with the kids. It's a good time.
Okay.
Highly recommended.
Yeah.
Talk to one of them about some sponsorship information.
Come on.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Had my haircut yesterday as well. I need to talk to them about some sponsorship information.
It is right and tight this morning.
Right and tight. Now, I didn't have the same experience that you enlightened our listeners on Monday morning.
What did you and your hairdresser talk about?
Well, I don't want to throw her under the bus, but she got onto a topic about solar flares.
Okay.
So she learned the sun is a star. The internet is Wi-Fi internet, Jay?
Oh, well, the way you say, I'm saying no. I was going to say
Look at
yes.
you, you're paying attention.
Yeah.
Wi-Fi is not internet. Wi-Fi is what blasts the internet signal so you can connect to it wirelessly.
Okay.
So you can have internet without Wi-Fi, but you can't have Wi-Fi without internet. I mean, you can connect to the Wi-Fi. It's just not going to have a signal through it. We talked about some conspiracy theory. We went down some rabbit holes yesterday.
Dang.
She started it with solar flares, and then she asked, she saw something where the whole world's internet will be knocked out by a solar flare. I said that could happen.
Yeah.
But then we talked about the planets and all that stuff. But,
did y'all come to the conclusion that there's life on Mars?
we came to a conclusion that there is life all over the universe that we have no idea about, because we can't be the only ones.
No, we can't. I mean, think about it. It just goes on and on and on.
That's the crazy thing, and I mentioned this to her. It's the crazy thing about the universe. It's the one thing in our life that is not defined.
Yep.
Everything else has a beginning and an end.
Yep.
And the universe doesn't, that we know of.
That's
So
right.
It's just, you can't.
And that's also in Genesis in the Bible. That there's no beginning. And
There you go.
There you go.
There you go. See? Didn't know we were going to go this route early on in the show.
I'm there.
David knew we were going to go this direction. That's for sure. But yeah, check out Kramer Marine and Outdoor. You can visit their new and used inventory at KramerMarineandOutdoor.com. They do have their Yamaha outboard full line dealer, their Yamaha Master Certified Mechanic on staff. And you can check out the dealership as well. The Tahoes are coming in. The HD trucks are coming in. If you're looking for a truck, man, there's just trucks everywhere. I don't know how these people keep getting these brand new trucks.
Yeah.
Wrong business, I guess.
One-stop shop. Buy the Tahoe and the skeeter boat and just drive it all.
I'm sure they got trailers too.
Yeah.
You just hook it up and you'll be on your
go.
merry way.
Yeah.
That is for sure. And of course, don't forget about us out there at Bay Point Golf Club. Our local pass is rocking and rolling. We got our last Sunday brunch with live music from Mark Knaps for the summer season. We'll kick that back up in the fall. Dates to be announced here in the future. And always don't forget about the Best of Bay competition. Vote Bay Point. I posted it just a few minutes ago on our Facebook page. We really appreciate your votes, trying to make it 8 years in a row in the golf course category and 2 years in a row on the golf shop category. They should do an instructor category too, Jay.
Yeah, they should.
Although they probably shouldn't, because you know what?
What?
You'd win.
You think so? I don't
time.
know. Who knows?
No, you
Who
would.
knows?
You would. No need to be modest. You are fantastic. And you've got a junior camp going on this week. How's that been going?
It's going great, man. I got Michael Shears back out. He's doing an awesome job.
Sweet.
Jolie's here for the next 2 days. She's had a busy summer. Yeah, it's been a great week, and the kids are learning something. They're having fun, and they're excited. I mean, they're there 30 minutes early, ready to start. So
That's awesome.
It's awesome, man.
Two things you said there that go hand in hand: having fun and learning something. I feel like if you're not having fun, it's a lot harder to learn something.
Right.
Fair to say?
Yeah, it's fair to say.
Because if you're not having fun, you're probably not soaking up as much information as you possibly could be.
I mean, we spent just to kind of give you an idea, we did some exercises, some balance exercises from the beginning. And then, we talked maybe about 2 minutes about, posting up on your left side, and making sure that you because a lot of the kids aren't getting their weight over to that lead side.
Yeah, it's a hard thing to do, for sure, especially for a young
And we did that for 2 minutes, and we had them go hit golf balls. And, you know, if we can get 2 minutes of their time.
Their undivided attention. Yeah.
I mean, they're not in school right now. Their minds are going, 90 miles an hour, and, they're wanting to have fun.
Yep.
You know, like, let's have fun.
Yep.
So,
absolutely.
4 weeks from now, it's back to reality.
Back to school for the kids. That's crazy.
Yeah.
4 weeks.
Yeah.
4 weeks until the kids are going back to school.
I'm getting Bay District school, phone calls already. Hey, orientation's August 8th. It's happening.
It's back.
Yeah.
And you're going to coach the Bay High Tornadoes again this year, correct?
That's the plan. I had a couple people come up to me today asking about that, and I think our boys team's going to be pretty strong this year.
Sweet.
I have heard of rumors of some ninth graders coming up that I don't know that play golf.
Sweet.
So I think they're going to be good. On the girls' side, I mean, if you have a girl that is interested in playing golf, reach out to me, and if she's at Bay High, because. And I don't even know, and I don't want to speak for Arnold, but I mean there was a lot of girls that graduated already at Arnold, and I think Arnold's looking at like, hey, do we even have a girls golf team this year? So I'm just throwing it out.
No, yeah, and is because I think right of September she graduated, right, or she got one more year.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking to Steve earlier today. His daughter is Marina.
Okay, yeah.
And so he literally was like, I think Marina's the only one that's potentially coming back.
Now, could they try out for the boys team as well? Because I know there's some places in the country that, even in New Jersey when I was playing ice hockey, we had a girl on our ice hockey team, was a younger sister of one of the guy who was a grade younger than me, but she was, she played club hockey and all that stuff. She was fantastic.
Yeah.
Her brother, one time we were in practice, it was one of her first practices with varsity, and we were doing some drills, and she just kept her head down, and he cold cocked her out on the ice, took her off her feet, hit her hard, and he was trying to help her out,
right,
so that didn't happen, when she was out there playing.
Yeah.
So,
but she got up.
She got up. She kept going. I mean, she was a little rattled, that's for sure. He hit her hard.
Yeah.
But you got to keep your head on a swivel out there in any sport that's a contact sport, because you can end up getting popped without even realizing.
You got that right.
Yeah, I had that happen to me several times. That was before they really did a lot of stuff about concussions. So that's why I forget stuff every once in a while. You get your brain rattled around enough.
It's good to be forgetful at times.
That's right.
Yeah.
Especially in golf. I seem to remember everything in golf, though, which doesn't bode well to help me. But yeah, so, Bay High. But you guys are working hard. This is all these junior camps you're doing.
Right.
You've got a lot of kids, I'm going to guess, between, 7th, 6th, 5th, 4th, kind of in that big range. So another 4 or 5 years from now, all these kids that you've been working with are going to be getting ready to go to those high school ranks. And I'm sure all your hard work and their hard work will pay off.
It will. Yeah, I know it will. And I'm excited about it. I mean, I just know, back 5 years ago, I knew kind of the junior development that was going on 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And I can see a pipeline.
That's awesome.
And like I said, it's not anything I'm doing. All I'm trying to do is just create a fun environment and just, hey, if parents, just let your kids be kids.
Yeah, and half the battle is just kids wanting to play golf.
Yeah.
Because like you just said, there's hardly any girls right now that are available to play on those high school varsity teams.
Yeah.
Which is what we got to fix.
Yeah.
So if you're listening out there and you got a girl that may be interested in golf, what's the best way to get up with you, Jay?
Yeah, you can contact me 770-584-3506 on my cell phone. You can just text me or DM me on Facebook at Jay Henley Golf. Yeah.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of people DMing you on Facebook and Instagram and all that stuff, but they may not be looking for golf lessons.
That's kind of died down a little bit. I think
you've been so busy. That's why.
Yeah,
you've been teaching a lot of golf. That's for sure.
But yeah, man, it's rolling right in from summer camp to we'll be starting high school golf practice second week of August.
Phew.
So we're rolling, man.
Man.
Yeah.
Hey, so while you've been gone, I've been really pushing this Go to Goats contest.
Yes,
and
I have too.
Yeah, good. That's perfect. David's going to give us the results here in just a little bit. I know they're getting some stuff figured out. So, but
are we down to the final four?
Yesterday was the last day for voting.
Okay,
and the voting ended at 12 on the show. Even though I might have got a couple votes in right after 12 before David shut it down. But they revealed all the winners on the Afternoon Underdogs yesterday afternoon because they were at
Dave and Buster's
Look
yesterday.
at you.
Yes.
You've missed a couple
Yeah.
days and you haven't missed
Going
a beat, that's for sure. But he'll be back in just a second, and we'll review those particular results and all that stuff. But next week you've got another camp coming up, right?
Yeah.
Which is very, very full.
It's very, very full.
Yes.
Ages 7 to 10. So that's a challenge in itself. But yeah, I've got I think 18 kids signed up for that. I've got a couple. I'll have to look back, but I had someone that knows you and Beth, and they had texted me, and they were trying to get their kid in, and so
And it wasn't me.
No, they had just mentioned that they were friends with you. I can't
Gotcha.
remember who it was. Anyways, they
Dropping
hit me
some
up.
names.
Yeah, you're right. Trying to get yeah.
That's how it works.
It is
The popularity of these camps.
Yeah, it is, and
for
so we'll see. You know what I'm saying? If you try to please the universe, you won't.
Yeah,
And,
you can't please everybody, and that just makes them sign up a little quicker next time.
That's right.
I know Liam was talking to me yesterday. He's like, I need some lessons because he knows about this tournament now coming up on the 19th, his first tournament that he's playing in. He's like, I need to get some lessons from Jay. I was like, well, he's got a camp next week. He's like, can I get into the camp? I was like, I don't know. Let me check. And then I found out how many you had. I'm like, yeah, buddy. He's like, well, I'll help. He's like, I'll help with the camp.
Yeah.
And he would. He'd fill balls and all that stuff. But if anybody out there wants to, you're looking for a couple people to potentially help out next week as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, somebody that knows the game of golf, that wants to make a little bit of money next week and just have fun with the kids.
David Hayes. As long as it's not between 4 to 6. He's got to run the show, though, since you're not going to be here next week.
I got 1 to 3?
Yeah. It's a small window.
There you go.
It's a small window. But yeah, so anybody looking to potentially help out, make a couple extra bucks, maybe any high school golfers that your parents may be listening or you're listening.
Yeah.
A chance to, and I think you could probably pair that with not only making a couple extra bucks, but also getting some of those hours that you may need for high school as well.
Absolutely.
I think you can double dip on that. I'm
can.
not 100% sure on that.
Yeah, well, I better not say I can't. You can, but
you can.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. Come talk to me if you can.
I'll sign my life away.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Absolutely. All right, David's pulling up the link and all that good stuff. So again, yesterday the voting ended at 12 noon. It was the Elite 8.
Okay.
And if I can remember off the top of my head, you had the Karate Kid versus the entire Rocky franchise. You had Remember the Titans versus Don't Tell Me. Remember the Titans versus the one. It wasn't the Waterboy, was it? No, Waterboy was up against Major League, and then no.
It was the Waterboy.
Dang, it was the Waterboy. He did this and this at the same time, and I couldn't pick up on the cues.
You were there.
I was there, and then I backed out. So you had Remember the Titans versus the Waterboy, and then you had the big one I kept talking about all week was the Sandlot versus Caddyshack, and then you had Happy Gilmore versus, why am I drawing a blank? I just told Linda all this maybe 30 minutes ago.
And you just talked about it. Or you just said it, but you said it in the wrong matchup.
Oh, gotcha.
Just a bit.
Yeah, Major League and Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
Yep. So
that's all of them right there.
Jay, who? Okay, so Rocky and Karate Kid.
Yeah.
Who do you want? Who do you think won?
Okay, I want Karate Kid, but I think Rocky probably won.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
And then Caddyshack and the pivotal Sandlot.
Yeah. I watched Sandlot again, but I'm going Caddyshack.
Okay.
Yeah.
You think they won and?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Caddyshack was down, remember, on Monday.
They were down big time.
Man, but I've been texting some folks, that are 50 plus, so... So hopefully that... Yeah.
Or were they in your DMs and you were responding in your DMs?
Yeah, these are all... Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
There you go. We'll keep it at that. And then you had Happy Gilmore versus Major League.
Major League.
Who'd you want to win? Who do you think was going to win?
Major League. I got to go Major League both, man. Yeah,
I'm concerned that Happy Gilmore might have took that one.
Really?
Because even talking to Linda before I left, she's like, Happy Gilmore all the way.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I know. I hear you. And then that first one, Remember the Titans and Waterboy.
Yeah.
I know you're a big Remember the Titans fan.
I am. That's such a good one.
You love the grits quote.
I do. Don't know what... I do like that one, man. It's such a good one.
It's a good
one.
one.
Overcooking my grits, coach.
There it is.
But I'll go Remember the Titans on both sides.
You wanted them to win, and you think they would win?
Yeah.
All right. Well, David's going to reveal these answers, and I think they had to decide. We talked about it. If they were between 55 and 45% in the voting, then it was a tiebreaker with the show yesterday.
Oh,
Just for a little added entertainment.
I like it.
And it worked out perfectly, man.
Wow.
So we'll start with the three that we didn't have to decide on anything. Waterboy takes down Remember the Titans, 84.3% to 15.7%, which translates to 376 votes versus 70.
Look at that, over 400 votes.
Yeah, wow.
Good job, people.
Yeah, great job, people. That is 100% correct. Caddyshack moves on. They take down Sandlot, 67.6%.
They bumped all the way up to 67 in that last hour?
7.6% to
Dang.
32.4%, which is 301 votes for Caddyshack, 144 for Sandlot.
Phew, 445 votes on that one.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Rocky wins over Karate Kid, 68.8%, which is 304 votes, compared to the Karate Kid's 31.2%, which was 138, which left us down to the final matchup, which was Happy Gilmore and Major League, which was
brutal matchup.
Tough matchup.
Or great matchup, however you want to look at it. Yeah.
52% to 47%, 233 for Happy Gilmore, 212 for Major League.
Man.
We split right down the middle. Going into the segment, we thought that it was going away. It was going to be Happy Gilmore. Actually, Major League. Then Kyle switched stances on us in the middle of the segment.
Pulled the old switcheroo.
Yeah, pulled the switcheroo. Him and Amanda went with Happy Gilmore. Me and Drew went with Major League. And so we put it back to the listeners then. So I put it out there.
I can feel the angst in Jay's heart right now as you're talking about this.
Yeah. So we took we threw it out there and said the first movie that gets 5 texts or comments from different people, can't be from the same people, moves on. Boom, they start coming in. As soon as I say that, man, and we get 1-1, 1-1, and then finally breaks the tie. Happy Gilmore moves on 5-4 last second. It just doesn't get any better than that. And you could tell through the air because we peaked pretty high right there, and it was like, ooh, that's not great audio.
You started yelling a little bit into the mics.
Man, so that leaves you with your matchups here. You've got the number 2 seed Waterboy taking on a number 1 seed in Caddyshack. You've got Happy Gilmore, which is a number 1 seed, taking on Rocky, which is a 3 seed. So we almost had 4 of the top seeds represented there.
Wow. You guys did a good job seeding those movies.
I guess that's what it does kind of boil down to. I mean, there's still like The Big Lebowski is another movie that here's my issue, is all of the movies that we left off or whatever, is there any that are going to be competing? Are they still going to be in the tournament at this point, I guess is my
No, like you said yesterday, you said Little Big League. I think that one probably drops off fairly. A great movie, but probably drops off fairly early in the contest.
Like my favorite movie out of all of these movies, I'll say, is The Rookie.
Yeah.
The Rookie with Dennis Quaid when he was with the Rays and stuff. That's probably my favorite one. Remember the Titans? The fact that it lost to Waterboy. I mean, Waterboy's a great movie, but Remember the Titans, man. Gosh, so it's wild, but and it's a hard thing to do. It's a very fun thing to do, but you do catch a lot of flack.
Of course, everybody's like, why isn't that movie in there? Why isn't it? Well, because that's why we voted. That's why there's a contest.
Well, this has been so good because it's it triggers me to go watch another one, and so the one I watched the other night was Coach Carter, and I didn't realize, but the very end of that game, and I don't want to spoil it for maybe I will spoil it.
It's a movie that's been out for a long time. It's not like it just came out yesterday.
But they lost the final game, and that was such a bummer. I mean, they had done,
it's reality.
It is reality.
I love movies that do that, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the total opposite. Well, name another. Is there another one that you can think of off the top of your head?
Don't put us on the spot like this.
I'll say Ted Lasso, which is a movie.
Friday Night Lights, Permian, with the guy from Sling Blade.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They lost that game in the state championship.
Dude, Georgia Tech beat Notre Dame.
But that was actually based on a real story.
Yeah.
That one, the Permian Panthers. Yeah.
Georgia Tech beat Rudy. That's a good one.
Yeah, it's because Rudy was too small. Sorry, Rudiger. You made a great play on that one time. We're very happy for you. But, Georgia Tech was a beast running that triple option back in the day.
Triple option.
Yep.
It's going to be weird seeing Army play football this year, not running the triple option.
Yeah. I wonder if Navy's going to stick to it. I would think so, right? The Air Force runs a little bit more of a spread.
Yeah,
option.
they got like more of a spread. I don't know what Navy's going to be running with this year, but we'll find out at some point. I love watching the service academies play some ball.
And those guys can't be over a certain weight, right? Like they have to maintain a certain weight to play football or something of that nature. I don't know.
I don't have an answer to that question. I'd be shocked if they made offensive and defensive linemen be under a certain weight. You're at a huge disadvantage there, but we ran several minutes over in this first one, which is completely fine, Jay. You don't have to be worried about that.
Okay.
When we jump back, I want to talk about these final two matchups while we got you here in studio today and get your thoughts on that. You are listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida presents The Blast at Bay Point. Listen to Win Your Tea Time at the legendary Bay Point Golf Club in beautiful Panama City Beach.
You ready to play some high-low?
I'm going to try.
Listen weekdays at 8:40, 12:40, and 5:40 to play high-low for a chance to win 18 holes at Bay Point Golf Club.
I tell you what, you're going to enjoy it. You're going to love it.
Listen to Win the Blast at Bay Point from ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning, this is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with Thursday's weather forecast. Likely thunderstorms and partly cloudy this afternoon and evening with a high near 85 and a wind between 10 to 15 miles per hour. A chance of thunderstorms and partly cloudy skies tonight, a light breeze and a temperature of 81. About the same tomorrow, around 85 with likely thunderstorms. Very warm with a high around 85 and a variety of some clouds and likely thunderstorms Saturday. This forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Hi folks, I'm Tracy at Tracy's Fine Jewelry. Santa called and he asked me to help everyone get ready for Christmas and avoid the stress and rush. So we've stocked the store and slashed the prices. All colored gemstones have been reduced 50 to 70% off. Emeralds, rubies, sapphires, amethysts, blue topaz, tanzanites, opals, and many more. And we are offering free 6-month layaway. Tracy's Fine Jewelry takes the stress out of the holidays. So shop now where Santa shops during our Christmas and July sale at Tracy's Fine Jewelry.
At Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, you can find all the necessary items for an unforgettable fishing experience. From pin rods and reels to the best hand-tied rigs in Florida, we have it all. With the help of our friendly and knowledgeable staff, you can be sure that you have the right gear to make that big catch. Come experience a great local bait and tackle shop located directly off 98 on the west end of Panama City Beach, located just 5 miles west of Pier Park.
We're starting fresh.
Fresh new start.
Locally sourced, farm to radio. The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey is live and local. From the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios on ESPN Northwest Florida.
You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. The music is different when you're not here. I will say that.
Okay.
I think you bring out the best in David when it comes to the music selection.
Yes, I like it.
You know, ponies, horses, donkeys, whatever it may be, all that good stuff. But we do have just something came out from ESPN. We do have a little bit of breaking news here. I'm going to let David hit that awesome sound for you, Scott.
Breaking news.
And then you remember, earlier this year, back on January 15th, there was that car crash that killed a former football player and a recruiting staffer there. And Victoria Bowles was in that car. That's a whole nother here nor there. But anyway, It was announced today that the former Georgia staffer, Victoria Bowles, she survived that car crash. She is both suing the University of Georgia Athletic Association and Philadelphia Eagles rookie Jalen Carter, who police arrested accused of racing the SUV being driven by recruiting staffer when it was wrecked. So obviously there was, we kind of saw this coming a little bit. Probably there was a lot more to come out of it, but I wonder how that will particularly, he's a rookie up there on the Eagles, top draft pick. He went in the first round, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Do you think that's going to affect, you think the NFL will do anything, or they'll wait to the results of this lawsuit?
I don't know, man. That's a tough one. I don't know. Maybe they just hold out. Maybe the NFL holds out and just kind of sees how this plays out. But yeah, man, that's terrible. I can't remember all the details of what went on that night, but I think there were 3 of them, right? Was it Jalen Carter, this Victoria lady?
Yeah, and there was a recruiting staffer as well.
Okay.
The lawsuit filed in the state court of Gwinnett County on Wednesday. Bowles, a former recruiting analyst for the university, accuses the UG Athletic Association of negligence and contradicts public statements by Bulldogs football coach Kirby Smart and other officials who have claimed that the recruiting staffer Chandler LaCroix shouldn't have been driving the leased SUV when it left the road and struck the trees and utility poles. The crash occurred several hours after Georgia celebrated its second straight national championship with an on-campus parade.
Yep.
After the wreck, the Athletic Association issued a statement that said, in part, rental vehicles were to be turned in immediate conclusion of the recruiting duties.
Oh.
So I think Carter may have actually been driving the SUV, and they said that the person that passed away was. So there's a lot of contradiction, and I guess now, the lawsuit has occurred.
Yeah. So it happened that same night after the big
parade. Yep, on the 14th of January. Yep.
That was a cold Saturday up in Athens. I wasn't there, but I do. Man, golly, yeah,
like cold as in
85,000
chilly.
people. Oh, cold. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, we had a cold winter this past.
We did.
But,
yeah, we sure did.
David, I got to get David's thoughts on that. Of course, I'm sure he'll talk about it in the afternoon underdogs. I don't have to get David's thoughts if he doesn't want to. If he wants to save that.
I think I'm with Jay on. I think the NFL holds out a little bit. I mean, we just heard the news with Alvin Kamara and that whole situation, which happened a year and a half ago in Las Vegas, and we don't know what. The felony
he was a current NFL player at the time when this happened. Obviously, Carter was not drafted yet, not in the NFL. But so a lot.
I think the one thing that I can say about this, and stand pat on this, is that Jalen Carter should be happy that this happened after the draft.
Yeah,
because he was considered a top pick, and he ended up being a top pick, but kind of slid down to the later side in the top 10. So outside of that, though, I want to wait and see more of the details here. I know that the AJC and Georgia right now is in a little bit of a tiff, if you will. So I'm gonna wait on that. Just like the whole Pat Fitzgerald thing is like there's still gonna be more details to come out, and so I'm kind of holding my tongue on that one as well. It's very odd, or not odd situations, just.
And like we talked about the other day, sometimes, they get quote, and again, you don't know what really happened and you can't speak to one side or the other, but you always kind of see, especially when it comes to universities, they usually pull the trigger a little quickly because for them it's a bit of damage control to a certain degree without necessarily doing the entire due process of the investigation and all that stuff. So
yeah, I mean, and they're still kids too. That's the thing that gets me is like he's playing for the Eagles, but he's still a kid. You know, and
just a big kid.
Yeah, and you're just with money.
Yeah,
and so you're gonna do. I mean, it's inevitable. I mean, you're gonna do like just crazy things at that age. So, anyways, it's just on a public eye. I mean, we're talking about it on radio.
Oh yeah, and the lawsuit was just filed and just broke. So I wanted to get that breaking news out there. But let's pivot back to something a little more positive. So we were talking about the Go to Goats contest, which has been so fun to talk a little bit about, and I know how much fun David and Kyle and Amanda and everybody is having out there. So you're down to your final 4. They started at 64, which was a tough task to seed all those. Talk about difficult figuring out who you give one, and like you said, wasn't that hard?
It was very hard. But I guess a little transparency here. We seeded the top 4 in each corner of the bracket, 4 to 5, and then we got to a point where it was like, danged if you do, danged if you don't.
Yeah, you just plug them in. Yeah.
Random generator, and they got a number.
Yeah, and you said Caddyshack, Waterboy, and Happy Gilmore were all number 1 seeds?
Caddyshack's a 1 seed, Waterboy's a 2 seed, Gilmore a 1 seed, Rocky a 3 seed.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 2 of the 4 golf.
Your 4 1 seeds were Remember the Titans, Caddyshack, Talladega Nights, and Happy Gilmore.
Ooh, Talladega Nights getting a 1 seed.
Yeah.
Ricky Bobby.
Yeah, that's
Little
a
baby
good
Jesus.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, and, we'll have to keep track for future history, to see who wins this thing. 1 seeds, 2 seeds, 3 seeds. So you get a lot of different analytics for the future. But
next year's going to be sports video games.
There you go.
So.
There you go.
We'll see. Let's see how long I can hold on to this piece of paper, though. I got photos in the phone, though, so that'll be a good backup.
There you go. There you
Look
go.
at this thing. It's got stains all over it.
It does.
That's how you know it's the real deal there.
Yes,
That's
sir.
for sure. But and kudos of handwriting all those names, too.
That's a big shout out to Kyle. It's got a little bit of both of our handwritings on here, but the Yeah, the 64 seeds, that's all Kyle there.
Impressive. So
he actually did that during one of your shows.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There you go.
Right there on the glass table.
Hey, you got to make good use of your time.
Yep.
Hey, Tecmo Bowl's got to be one for next season there, David. Tecmo Bowl.
We'll see how far that'll get along.
I remember Tecmo Bowl.
Phenomenal.
Just can't use Bo Jackson or else that'll win the whole tournament.
It's like NHL 93. There was a cheat in there. You could do a wraparound and score like every time.
I was watching someone on Facebook play Ken Griffey Jr. baseball.
Ah.
Ooh.
Yeah,
you like
set, oh, yeah. Yep. I remember that game, Super Nintendo. That was a great one. It was the first time you could do a home run derby in a video game.
Oh, really? In the Ken Griffey?
In the Ken Griffey Jr.'s Major League Baseball.
Yes,
I think was the official title of that video game.
Sit there all night.
And I remember once we were in Orlando one time when I was a kid. I had the game at home too, but back in the day, you got excited when you stayed at a hotel room that they had a game console in, and they had that, and they had Ken Griffey Jr.'s Ken Griffey Jr. Major League Baseball. I can remember playing in that hotel room.
Hey, just real quick, Ryan.
No, you can go as long as you want. We've got an hour and a half.
Because it's been so long since I've watched the home run derby, and we've talked about it. Yeah. So I did watch it the other night.
No, nice. Yeah. We recapped it, but I'd love to get your thoughts on that.
Well, it was good, but I remember, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the home run derby back, let's say 20 years ago, it wasn't like a bracket, right? Like, I mean, I think everybody just had 10 or 15 ball, whatever.
You had 10 outs, and
10 outs.
You hit as many home runs as you could.
Yeah, okay.
And you were competing against everybody. Yep.
That's right. Okay, so I couldn't remember if that was still bracketed out back in the day. But
I think the bracket came in with probably in the last 5 or 6 years.
We're just in a bracket generation. I mean, everything's bracket
head-to-head competition. Winners and losers.
Yeah.
Winners and losers.
There you go. That's it.
Yeah. There can only be one winner.
But I enjoyed it, man. It was fun to watch.
Yeah.
I mean, it really was.
What did you think about Adley Rutschman hitting 20 or 21 home runs left-handed, and then in his bonus he switches to right-handed and hits 6 or 7, I think 6 more. He finished with 27.
Yeah.
I thought that was obviously Rodriguez, your boy, hitting 41 against him right after that. You were probably feeling pretty good.
But that Pena dude, though, man, the guy that was pitching to him, dude, he was a short arm pitcher, and dude, he was hitting
right on the inside
every time,
ripping him out. And that's what hurt Garcia, and I thought it hurt Alonso too. It's just we were talking about that on Tuesday, and how important your pitcher is in that batting practice to put the ball in the right spot so you can just tee off on it.
But one of those guys had a long arm pitcher. It was the older guy that the guy, I don't even know who it was.
It might have been Alonso's pitcher.
I think it was, who just came in the last week or whatever.
Yep.
He was
pitcher. Yep.
He was so long armed, and like they weren't flowing. You can tell they weren't jiving.
There's so much rhythm in the home run derby. Yeah. That's for sure. Yeah, it's just like anything. You get in a groove, you get into a rhythm. It's like on the golf course.
Yep.
You're hitting your tee shots well, you're grooving and all that stuff.
Right.
Having fun. David, you got something?
Yeah. How would y'all feel about a pitcher machine taking place of the BP pitcher?
Ooh. As long as it was the old plugged in with the wheels one, because these pitching machines that we used for baseball, the ones that spring load swing them, they're
it's kind of like the ones that do we still have batting cages right up here on the beach?
No,
but is it kind of like how those arms were?
I don't think so. This was a spring-loaded thing that you had to put sandbags on. You pull it back. You put the ball in there. You have to the ball was all over the.
So it's not a jugs machine.
No. Nope. Give me that. It comes that you release the lever and it slings the ball in.
My favorite part of your description was the extension cord.
Yes. You remember that back in the day. You had to have the extension cord. I think that's why they came out with this spring-loaded one. But it's just so hard
How hard can it even throw, the spring-loaded one?
They can go from 40 up to, I think, 60-ish miles an hour.
60?
Yeah, I think so. But this was 8U. This was over at Sudeth. And it was just hard to dial it in to be at the right height.
That was the worst part about the jugs machines, though, was being the first batter of batting practice.
Taking one right off the head. Yeah. That's an interesting question, though. Because then as long as it's consistent, I think that'd be cool.
I haven't been around a pitching machine in 30 years, but I mean, I remember that tire just going, and back in the day, there was no guard or anything. Like, I mean, your head could totally get into that tire and just like
get your arm stuck in there, it rips it off. Yeah. Safety has certainly changed a little bit over the years.
You want to look up top 10 pitching machine accidents or something. Because you know there's got to be a compilation on YouTube.
Oh yeah, definitely. They still at one of the places, the indoor places here in town you can go to for BP. They've got one of those still.
The dugout?
Yeah, the dugout. Yep, they've got one, and it's just got one speed though, and
fast.
Yeah, fast. Liam's got in there before just to get some action. He was just like. He's like, yeah, this is a little faster than I'm used to.
Oh,
yeah, but it'll make you better.
It will.
It will.
That's right.
Yeah.
It will.
It'll learn you how to time them up.
That's right.
for sure.
Then he'll get out there, though, against it.
And he'll be way early. Yeah.
Whoa,
The
man.
good news is when he plays his next season of baseball, I think it goes to kid pitch at that point.
There you go.
Which is even more wild than the sling rodent pitching machine. But you can
Gotta
get
have a good
walked.
eye.
You
Yeah.
can get walked in kid pitch.
Is he going to be a pitcher, you think?
He's kind of leaning towards that.
Yeah.
But, quarterbacks, pitchers kind of go hand in hand.
It
I
does.
guess.
Be a heck of a shortstop, too.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see how it all happens, but he just loves playing any kind of sport. What the hell were we talking about prior to this? It was a great,
the home run derby.
The goats. Oh, no, that was prior to that.
The goat, two goats.
Two goats.
I like that. The goat of goats. Yeah. But yes, so you mentioned, Jay, probably about 12 minutes ago that you've got 2 golf movies in the Final Four, which is very interesting.
It is.
I think, 3 out of these 4 movies are certainly comedies.
Yeah.
Rocky, you could say, has got some funny stuff in it, but definitely a drama, no doubt. But you've got the entire franchise of Rocky going up against Happy Gilmore. What do you think on that one?
Yeah, you got to go Happy Gilmore.
I'm going to be completely honest. I don't think Rocky franchise stands a chance in this one.
I don't either.
I feel like Happy Gilmore is a shoo-in for the national championship.
Yeah, I can never understand Sylvester Stallone every time he talked, man. Like, I couldn't understand him.
It's because he got punched in the face literally 70 times in each boxing match he was in.
That's what subtitles are for, Jay.
Yeah.
We didn't have
The subtitles are not very readable either. But that's the thing about those Rocky movies. I mean, he sits in there, just his chin's hanging out, and he takes punch after punch after punch. And you can't I get it's a drama and it's a movie, but you can't come back from taking a beating like that.
No.
You get hit like that 4 times, you're on the floor. It's just punch after punch. But yeah, I think Happy Gilmore certainly takes the cake on that one. And then a very, very tough one, Caddyshack versus The Waterboy.
Ooh.
Brutal matchup.
Ooh, boy.
2 eras of comedy, 1980, Waterboy, mid-90s, probably fair to say?
Yeah.
Question mark?
You just got to kind of vision yourself, hey, look, I don't have anything going on for the evening. Which one am I going to, thoroughly enjoy? And it's kind of whatever mood you're in. I mean, I know.
Like David was saying yesterday, Caddyshack's a little bit different style of humor compared to The Waterboy.
Yeah.
I think Waterboy's more relatable humor.
It is.
Potentially in this day and age. Caddyshack, they're not going to make a movie like Caddyshack ever again, just because a lot of that stuff is kind of untouchable at this point in our very sensitive society. But
I can get into kind of I call it kind of stupid humor. You know what I'm saying? It's just kind of like,
when you're baked out of your mind the entire movie in Caddyshack, you're going to kind of say some crazy stuff.
Well, yeah, that's true. But I think Waterboy is kind of more stupid humor than Caddyshack.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
a little bit more.
Yeah.
But, like Night at the Roxbury. I don't know if we're talking about that. And if you look back to like Emilio Estevez and Phil Mickelson, I think I sent that to you, right? They almost look identical from the 90s.
Yes.
And there's this part in Night at Roxbury's where they're talking about Emilio, and he goes, "Yeah, I saw Emilio the other day," and he goes, "Emilio," and I'm thinking that would be great when Phil Mickelson hits a shot, somebody just to go, "Emilio."
There you go. Baby, don't hurt. Yeah.
Have you watched Night at Roxbury?
Yes, sir.
Oh, it's such a good one, man.
I don't really remember a whole lot from that movie. I'm going to have to watch it again.
Do yourself a favor and go watch it.
And David, is it 2 weeks on this, or is it going to be 2 weeks once you hit the national championship game?
We're going to do 2 weeks for the Final Four, man.
Okay.
I think that it gives everyone plenty enough time to go watch all 4 movies and vote as much as they possibly can, and we'll just draw this thing out, man. Because
I feel like you have to do yourself a favor, and before you can make an educated... Now, Rocky, you got to choose one of them, because it's going to be tough to do the whole franchise, but you got 2 weeks.
That would be tough.
You have to watch each one of these movies. Just do Rocky 1, because the rest of them it's just different characters but the same theme.
I'll go Caddyshack.
Caddyshack over The Waterboy.
Yeah, I had to think about that. Man.
I've been pushing hard for Caddyshack since we kind of gotten a little bit involved in this whole thing. But I think Waterboy is going to take down Caddyshack.
Think so?
I think it's going to be Waterboy versus Happy Gilmore. And how's that for Adam Sandler movies making? Now there's so many good Adam Sandler movies. How about Adam Sandler movies making it to the national championship?
I feel like you could do a whole bracket, or you could do a whole side of a bracket, 32 seeds of Adam Sandler movies versus 32 seeds of Will Ferrell movies.
Yeah. You could really go anywhere with this stuff. It's awesome.
But there was a time like in 02, 03 where Sandler's stuff to me became less funny.
Like rom-com almost. Like it was more rom-com-y, right?
Yeah, it was just like 50 First Dates or something like that. Anyways.
Yeah, 50 First Dates.
Yeah, from there on it just kind of like dwindled. But all that stuff, prior to that was great.
Yeah.
I mean,
comedy in general kind of changed when talking about the motion being on the movie screen.
Yeah.
I think that's just the where we are now.
You think so?
Yeah, they're not going to make a movie like Happy Gilmore ever again unless we kind of reverse back in time with
what's our cyclical.
Yeah, what's
everything.
Acceptable comedy out there.
Yeah.
Because everybody gets offended. So
all the good comedy is like on YouTube essentially.
Yeah. But I want to be offended.
Yeah,
I think it's
right.
funny.
Right. No, I do too.
I like to laugh.
I do too.
I can handle it.
Same.
That's why you're so good on the show.
Yeah, I mean, like, just have fun.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
It's not serious.
People take themselves
way too serious.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Absolutely.
But yeah.
Speaking of serious, we ran a few minutes over again one more time, but we got our top of the hour break coming up. We'll be right back. You're listening to the Inside Drive.
ESPN, Northwest Florida.
The tradition continues.
That ball is going to be out of here. The Atlanta Braves play here.
Bombs away.
The Atlanta Braves are back and making a statement.
Head first slide, 2 RBI triple.
Listen to Atlanta Braves baseball in a rich audio experience live on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Here comes the thunder.
Sponsored by Bestway Portable Buildings, Dave and Buster's, PCB Hobby, and Gulf Coast Aquarium.
Young Cycle across from FedEx Mosley Drive in Lynn Haven has a fantastic selection of pre-owned Harleys at great prices. Great prices. Don't buy a Harley until you stop by Young Cycle. Young Cycle, a full service department is available too, offering motor trike conversions, parts, and accessories. Nothing compares to Harley Davidson and the low prices on pre-owned Harleys at Young Cycle. Young Cycle, 112 Mosley Drive across from FedEx in Lynn Haven.
Hello, Tracy's Fine Jewelry.
Tracy, I need your help.
Of course I'll help, Santa.
What can you do to help take the stress out of the holidays?
You heard it, folks. Santa called, and we won't let him down. All of us at Tracy's Fine Jewelry have been stocking our cases full of gold chains, bracelets, and earrings at the lowest prices. We'll save you money during our Christmas and July sale and offer 6 months free layaway. Relieve some stress and shop where Santa shops during our Christmas and July sale at Tracy's Fine Jewelry.
Barbaritos lets you say yes to fresh. If you don't know what to eat or where to get it, well, fret no more. Barbaritos is here to help with its healthy menu, offering 7 meals with less than 500 calories. Barbaritos has lots of healthy options made with farm fresh food. Your health and your family's health matters to us. Come eat healthy at Barbaritos, 23rd Street in the Stanford Station Shopping Center near Academy Sports. Barbaritos, food, community, people.
The locals love it.
You're gonna love this.
You are my favorite.
It's my favorite.
Everybody's favorite. The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey. Live from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. I always say welcome back, but I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
What else could you possibly say besides welcome back?
Yeah.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
Hi, everybody.
Another one.
I need some good comeback-inners because I can't. Oh, that's not a comeback.
I know, but it works.
Yeah.
Comebackers.
I
like welcome back.
Welcome back. It's.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do it in different tones.
You could.
Yeah. Do it in different accents. I'm not really good at accents.
Do it in different languages.
Ooh. Buenos dias. Yeah. That's all I got. That's all I got. I know how to count to 10 in Japanese.
In 15 minutes, it'll be Buenos tardes.
Yeah, there you look at David with his Espanol knowledge. You know what tardes means?
Afternoon. Yes.
I mean, context clues kind of gave that one away, but what's night? You know what night is?
Noches.
Look at you. You didn't know we were going to be talking Spanish in
I
here
did
today.
not.
See, that's what happens when you're gone a few days. You come back and we're speaking different languages.
The ESPN Ocho.
The Ocho. There you go. The Ocho. That's good. Hey, did you see, while you've been busy, I know you've been teaching kids and working and doing a job. Did you see all any of the hearing from the PGA Live stuff?
I keep seeing a bunch of texts roll through. I haven't even really.
We have a group text, me, Jay, Keith, and Alan, and I think Jay sends one text to I'm
normally that type of guy.
every 100.
And I'm tuning in.
I know you are.
I'm tuning in.
Sometimes there's just nothing to say.
And I enjoy it. It's a good little break from the day, just kind of catching up on everybody's little deal. But I did not.
Getting on the recliner and reading 750 texts.
That's right. Catch up for the day.
Yeah.
But I'm curious as far as your thoughts on kind of if you know what's going on. I'm intrigued.
There's not really any answers yet. Obviously, they held the hearing, and we talked a little bit about it yesterday as well. But the Senate Homeland Security Committee did this. Has a permanent subcommittee. They did investigations, 3-hour hearing on I think it was on Tuesday, 2 days ago, on the PGA Tour's planned merger with, of course, the Saudi Arabia-backed LIV Golf and the PIF fund. The committee heard testimony from PGA Tour Chief Operating Officer Ron Price. He's the CEO right now, kind of filling in for what's his face that we don't like to talk about, Jimmy Monahan. And then the other board member, Jay Monahan.
Yep.
Sorry, Jimmy Dunn was the board member that was there. And Greg Norman and the Saudi Arabia Investment Fund Governor Yasir Al Rumayyan, they were both not there because of scheduling conflicts. But basically, there was several senators were very critical of it, basically because of the human rights violations and all that stuff with Saudi Arabia, and didn't understand why the PGA Tour couldn't continue on without having to accept money. And the PGA Tour kind of defending themselves, saying they were bleeding money, yada, 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 didn't have a lot of money left. Elevated Events Live kind of pushed them in this particular direction. I still think it goes back to the lawsuit and not wanting their doors opened up to everybody, see what they've really been doing.
Right.
And again, nothing's happened. It's just announced that they plan to merge, but it's not officially gone through yet. And there was a lot of support for it as well because, PGA Tour is a huge sport here in America, and a big time money thing. And like Ron Price said, they want to continue to be able to donate to charity. They want to continue to, have these big time events, but without any kind of money, kind of subsidizing it, so to speak, was going to be a little bit of a challenge. Some other things came out. You learned some more details, like if the merger does go through, Greg Norman would not be the CEO of Live Golf anymore. You heard a couple other rumors as well that Tiger and Rory were going to own a team, which Rory came out and basically said today. He said, I will retire from golf before I ever play on the Live Tour. He said that the Scottish Open today.
Who said that?
Rory.
Yeah.
Which, I think he kind of has to say that because he's been so anti that if he were to, your boy flip-flopped pretty heavily. So
who?
Yeah, just like you mentioned, Jay Monahan.
Oh, yeah.
The worst-looking Jay.
The worst.
WLJ.
That's right.
Not BLJ.
That's right. Worst looking Jay.
But yeah, so, nothing really came out of it other than they're going to continue and try to have another hearing because they want to have Monahan and, Al Rumayyan there as well to discuss more things. But it's just kind of they're worried that Saudi Arabia continues to invest into American sports and, they call it sports washing. They've bought some soccer teams. But like David said yesterday, they're kind of focusing on global sports, kind of taking over this whole thing. But
and I was talking to some kids, 11, 12 years old about this. What's this virtual thing they're going to try to do in the wintertime, I think?
Oh, that's that virtual golf league that Tiger and Rory are kind of heading up, where they're going to play on simulators and that kind of stuff. And there's, I think, 6 or 7 PGA Tour pros that have committed to doing that.
Okay.
They're going to hit playing on virtual, but then there's going to be like real putting and all that stuff. So without it in front of me, I don't know any more details really than that. But I think that's just a shot at trying to create some more interest in the game.
Yeah,
for sure.
I know. I did a vote with some kids yesterday because I was just curious what their mind thought or what their mindset was, and they didn't act the least bit interested in watching virtual. I thought they would be. You know what I'm saying? Watching virtual reality. golf, and they didn't seem too interested in it. I just think it's supposed to be a green grass sport. I mean, it's supposed to.
And the simulators are cool.
Yeah.
It's good, for a Top Golf like entertainment and the big shots that's coming here to the beach. Supposed to break ground later on this year. But nothing beats playing and watching people play on a real. There's factors that come into play that you cannot create in a virtual simulation of golf.
That's right.
But still cool for fitting and games and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But speaking of golf, the Scottish Open got underway bright and early here in the Central Time Zone at 1:15 a.m. And if you listened to Keith yesterday, one of the guys he had mentioned as not his official lineup, but an additional play was Byung-Hun An, who shot a little 61 this morning, 9 under par on that par 70 course at the Renaissance Golf Club. Weather hasn't been quite as bad as originally forecast. The winds aren't really blowing too much yet. It's not raining. It's a little chilly, 50s and 60s. But you've got Byung-Hun An at 9 under. Riley Davis is at 7 under. And then another guy you mentioned, Thomas Dietrich, is 6 under. Rory shot a nice little 64 this morning. Name we hadn't heard in a little while, Ross Fisher from England over there. He shot 6 under par. He just texted too and said one of the guys he picked, Adam Scott, just made it 8 on one of the holes. And then we didn't talk about him, but Eric Cole shot a nice little 3 under par 67 to get off to a good start. But we were talking about this tournament yesterday because this is the prelude to the Open Championship. All the big name guys go over, typically playing the Scottish Open, which is part of the DP World Tour, but kind of a joint PGA Tour event. So it's early, but it's good to see where this is. You got to pay attention to this one because it's certainly a prelude to the Open Championship next week at Royal Liverpool.
Well, it's kind of like the Shell Houston Open, right? I mean, does the winner of this Scottish Open get an invite into the Open Championship for next week? You know how the Shell Houston?
Because it's the last PGA Tour event before the Masters. Yeah, I'm sure there's sure there's qualifiers from the Scottish Open if you're not already qualified. That's a great question. Yeah, I'll look it up here when we hit the top of the hour break. But last major championship of the year coming up next week. Hard to believe we're already at the Open Championship at Royal Liverpool.
Yes, sir.
One of the more difficult golf courses on the Open Championship, whatever you want to call it, circuit. Or rotation of courses, I should say. It was won last time by Rory McIlroy back in 2014, and based on those leaderboards there, Rory's off to a good start, shooting 6 under par, and he's from Northern Ireland, so some of these guys are used to these conditions and all that. You ever been overseas to play golf?
No, I want to. Gosh,
that'd be fun.
Be so much fun.
Totally different world of golf over there.
Have you?
For sure. No. Never had the opportunity, not yet anyway. Maybe when the kids are gone, or maybe I'll go over there with the kids if they want to play some golf as well. A lot of stuff ahead of us.
I can't believe me and you have been at both super exclusive private clubs and never took the trip over the
journey over the pond.
Yeah.
Well,
we didn't utilize our resources properly.
That's true. And back in the day when I was an assistant pro and a head pro, didn't have a family and all that yet.
Yeah.
I should have. They make those trips where they pay for the pros and all that. I should take advantage of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But,
that's
got plenty of time ahead of us still, that's for sure. One of the other things that the LIV Golf Tour announced, it was either earlier today or yesterday. No, it was today. They announced a strategic partnership with Simplebet. The global technology leader in micro betting projects will serve as the league's official sports betting innovation partner. Which, when this stuff like this is going on, you have these kind of things happening, that the LIV Tour is certainly not going anywhere. So if the merger does happen, lives on going forward, no pun intended.
Right.
But I didn't know what micro betting was until I looked it up, and it's pretty cool. What it means is you can actually bet on stuff that's happening live while it's going on. I know there's some micro betting going on in the United States as well with some of the other stuff. But for example, you got Brooks Koepka on the tee. You can pop a quick micro bet in there, say he's going to either hit the fairway or not hit the fairway.
That's kind of cool.
So it's real-time betting almost to a certain degree. People making putts and, greening regulations, all that cool stuff. Obviously, it's not legal here in Florida, but if you're in a state you can legally gamble in, I'm sure it will be available. But Simplebet, they've experienced record-breaking growth over the past year and has established itself as the global leader in the sports betting industry, developing a suite of innovative in-play micro betting and fan engagement products for the NFL, NBA, MLB, NCAA basketball, and the IFL. Yeah, so interesting.
I was just kind of thinking, what if your Wi-Fi signal went to a server, let's say in a state where it was legal to do that.
I don't know how that all works, but it sounds like you'd have to do some interesting routing for your internet to be your IP address coming from somewhere other than where you're located.
Gotcha.
I'm sure that's how some of these sites that people gamble on and they win money and they never get their money out of it because it's not legal.
Yeah.
I don't know. But that's why you can daily fantasy bet here in Florida.
Right.
But we're going to be talking about a lot of betting stuff as we get closer to college football season.
When do you think we're going to be game on the show where it's like it's football and football?
I'm thinking August 1.
August 1, it's game on.
Yeah. I don't want to peak too early.
Right.
Because it's David. He's like, no, we're talking about it now.
All right, so are you like me? Because I can go through some ESPN classics and, you see like the 1997 game where Alabama's playing Ole Miss or something like that. Do you flip? Like, I can't watch it, man, because it's not time.
Oh, you mean like it's not time for football
yet?
Yeah,
it's got to be. Like,
I think I agree with that. It's funny you say that. Best parents are in town, and last night I was setting my father-in-law up with how to get into YouTube TV and all that stuff, and he stopped on the SEC network, and they were broadcasting the Alabama-Tennessee game from last year. I
saw that.
And he forgot what happened. I was like, I'm not going to say anything, so it's like you're watching a new game.
Yeah.
And guess what?
What?
Tennessee won.
There you go.
Fun fact.
That
was a crazy game with penalties and back and forth. That was just a wild football game. Yeah. But when we come back, we're going to jump into the ESPY award winners from last night, as your ESPYs happened last night. Don't know if you saw that or not. And we'll maybe have some afternoon delight as well. You're listening to the Inside Drive live on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Now. To the right. Now take the left hand and put it on your side.
ESPN Northwest Florida is on location at Dave & Buster's. The afternoon underdogs are broadcasting live at Dave & Buster's Pier Park with half-price cocktails, half-price games, free Dave & Buster's game cards, and choice swag from ESPN Northwest Florida. Join David, Kyle, Amanda, Drew, and a cast of sports fanatics every Wednesday from 4 to 6 with fun and prizes at Dave & Buster's Pier Park with ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida with your Thursday's weather. The remainder of the day, there will be a moderate breeze out of the west-southwest, likely thunderstorms, and some clouds, and 85. A likelihood of thunderstorms and partly cloudy skies tonight, about the same, 81. Tomorrow, likely thunderstorms and a high of 85. The same at 85 Saturday, and we'll have a variety of some clouds and likely thunderstorms. This forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumberyard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WTOT, W271DM Mariana, WVLQ Port St. John.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Dell Technologies Black Friday in July event has arrived with limited quantity deals on top tech to power any passion. Save on select XPS PCs and more powered by the latest Intel Core processors. Plus, get savings on select monitors and accessories, free shipping, and monthly payment options with Dell Preferred Account. Save today by calling 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL. Offered to U.S. residents by WebBank, who determines qualifications for and terms of credit.
Do you suffer from political talk radio fatigue? Tune into the most fun and exciting new radio show on the Gulf Coast. It's The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey. From the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Sky rockets in flight. Afternoon delight.
And welcome back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Sitting inside the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine and Outdoor Studios. As always, you can listen live and local on 104.3 in Panama City, 101.9 along the Forgotten Coast. Join us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Just search ESPN Northwest Florida. And as always, you can download the free mobile app inside the Google Play or Apple Store. All that good stuff out there. Jay, you almost forgot to do the skyrocket and flight thing.
I know. I was like,
You've had a couple days that you've been focusing on teaching the youths of the world. I'll give you a pass on that one. That's for sure.
Thank you.
But it's go visit Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC. They've got lots of new Tahoes coming in, HD trucks coming in, still giving you tires at cost, and they've got a great service department as well. You know, everybody needs to get their car, make sure your oil's changed, getting that tune up so it's running well, all that good stuff. They got the new Skeeter boats just came in over there at Kramer Marine and Outdoor. They always have their Seabourn, Spider, and Sundance boats right there in stock. You can check out all that new and used inventory at KramerMarineandOutdoor.com. Just over there at 2251 West 23rd Street. And give the car dealership a call, 850-251-1403. Give Kramer Marine and Outdoor a call, 850-851-0453. Not only do they have a Yamaha outboard full line stock, they have Suzuki outboard stock, they have a Yamaha Master Certified Mechanic, but they're also a Yamaha power dealer. So if you need a water pump or any of those other power products there from Yamaha, you can check them out for those particular needs. You have a chance to watch? Probably not. I didn't really watch it either, but the ESPYs last night.
I did not.
They kind of snuck it in there that the awards ceremony was going on. I think Steph Curry was the host of the ESPYs there, and a lot of award winners. So I'm going to jump kind of right through them and get your thoughts and get David's thoughts as well on some of these winners. But we'll start with one of the cool ones is the Pat Tillman Award for Service, which I think we kind of knew what was going to happen, but that was awarded to the Buffalo Bills entire training staff for their life-saving procedures they did for Damar Hamlin out there on the field. And without them, Damar Hamlin's probably not with us today, and just crazy he's going to be playing football this season.
It's amazing.
Talk about a comeback story, that's for sure.
The scariest moment of my football viewing life, I actually was watching it live, and I don't know, it was a Sunday night, I do remember, and man, just to watch that, it just doesn't happen often, and man,
not live.
Yeah,
that's for sure. That's for sure.
But I'm glad he's still with us. That's for sure.
Yeah, there you go. And the Jimmy V Award for Perseverance, Liam Hendricks, pitcher from the Chicago White Sox. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, he's the gentleman that got non-Hodgkin's lymphoma and kind of came back, beat it, and then started pitching again.
Wow.
Yep. Pretty unbelievable.
That is unbelievable.
So got the Jimmy V Award for Perseverance. Pretty cool. Best tennis player. Can you guess that one, Jay?
Don't have a clue.
It's okay. Novak Djokovic.
Okay.
You know, he's, I don't know if he's leading now in Grand Slams. He's still in the Wimbledon. He's in the semifinals as well. The last American got eliminated yesterday, unfortunately.
That's still going on?
Yeah. Wimbledon is still going on. Semifinal matches, I believe, will be tomorrow, with the finals match being on probably Sunday, if I had to guess. The women's matches are just, I think, a bracket step ahead. Best driver was Max Verstappen in Formula One, if I said his name correctly. Best NBA player, Jay, I'm going to let you guess this one. Come on.
Best NBA player.
Who won the MVP in the NBA this year? Who won the title?
LeBron James.
That's a good guess if you're 6 years old. Novak.
He likes to he likes to ride horses, or he likes to race horses.
He likes to
I don't think he's going to get that. No,
yeah.
I wouldn't even get that either. Jokic.
Okay, yeah, we've talked about him.
We have, at length.
Best shooter was John Morant, right?
Yeah. Best shooter.
No, that's a joke.
I'm getting confused because
you got that one. That was good.
The tennis player was what now? Was he a Jokic?
Jokovic.
Okay,
yes.
You're confusing me.
Nikola Jokic. And then you had Novak Djokovic.
We're getting. This is way too confusing.
We were speaking Spanish earlier, so here we are. I don't know what particular. I don't know where they're from, but anyway, Czechoslovakia. No.
Nikola's from Serbia. I'm not entirely.
I think Jokic
sure
is from Serbia as well, if I'm not mistaken. Best NHL player, Connor McDavid, very well deserved, from the Edmonton Oilers. Come on, you're going to get one of these. These next two, you've got to get one of them. And he doesn't have his phone out, folks. He's doing this right from the old noggin.
Yeah.
The best MLB player.
Best MLB player for this year?
For the awards. Well, I think it's a wraparound for the last, sports season.
I mean, I've got to go with one of my Braves. It's got to be.
It's not.
Dang.
It's not.
They're usually in the outfield.
Usually
the team that he would play for. If I'm correct here, I don't know.
That's another one that, are you making a movie reference?
Yes.
Yes, that was good.
Usually in the outfield.
There's a movie about this.
Angels in the outfield.
Angels in the outfield.
You're getting too many hints now.
He hits and he pitches.
I don't
Nothing.
Nothing.
If I say he hits and he pitches, there's only two guys that should come to mind.
Yes.
If we're not talking college baseball here.
Help me.
Babe Ruth is one of them.
It's not Babe.
Shohei Ohtani.
Ah, there you
Help
go.
you. I did everything but give you the answer. And then
You did give him the answer, so. All right. This one you're not going to stumble on. I can feel it. The best NFL player.
Best NFL player.
Talks a little bit like Kermit the Frog. My name is Piggy.
You say you do voices.
That's all I got.
Is that
Kermit.
all you got?
That's all I got is Kermit.
Oh boy.
They won the Super Bowl this past year.
Okay.
They beat the Philadelphia Eagles. Arguably the hardest position in sports. Nothing?
Nothing.
Played at Texas Tech?
Brain dead.
Oh, man.
Have you talked about the documentary yet?
No, because I want to make sure you were ready for that one.
Who is it, Ryan?
I wanted to make sure I didn't Keith Fleming you.
No, you're good. You're good. Like Keith listening. Keith's hard to get on break.
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's got so much knowledge and information.
Man,
and I never get the quick. And I hate to interrupt people, but sometimes you just have to.
Yeah, you do.
It's just part of the gig. Come on.
Don't have a clue.
Don't have a clue?
This is not good, Jay.
You're on Sports Talk Radio.
I know.
Patrick Mahomes.
There
it was right there at the tip of your tongue.
The man remembers, you almost remembered. DeMar Hamlin, that situation happened on Monday Night Football, not Sunday Night Football.
Right.
But it was a night game.
It was a night game. You remember that, but you don't remember who wins the Super Bowl? Come on.
And that game also cost Allen, our good friend, like $10,000 or something like that because they ended up having a no contest and it knocked him down in the capping contest that he was in. So, but yeah. These next ones probably you're not. One of them you might get. The best college athlete on the women's sports.
Best college athlete on the women's sports.
I'm going to give you some hints. College basketball. They didn't win the national championship.
Okay, I know it.
So that narrows it down. That's okay.
Yeah.
We'll punt to David on this one.
And I'll receive Caitlin Clark.
Boom. Ding, 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 ding,
Yeah, good job.
Yes. Iowa women's basketball. All right, best college athlete. I didn't know this was going to turn into trivia, but it's more fun doing it this way. Best college athlete, men's sports. I'll give you a hint. It's in football. They also didn't win the national championship or even play in the playoffs. He did win an award, though, which would go synonymous with being the best.
I'm going to narrow one out for him real quick because the way that you were explaining it, I'm like, as a Bama fan, I'm like, wait, was it Bryce Young?
No,
No,
it's not Bryce Young. It's not
West
anybody.
Coast.
West Coast.
Painted his fingernails.
Don't have a clue.
That's the fight song for the USC Trojans.
Caleb Williams.
Yep. Quarterback. He won the Heisman Trophy.
Gotcha.
He's the favorite this year to win it back-to-back.
All right.
When's the last time somebody won it back-to-back?
74-75 Archie Griffin.
Look at that. That's why he gets paid the big bucks.
Yeah, that big bucks.
Yeah.
Tim Tebow almost did it. Very close.
Yeah,
he finished second in that second year, if I'm not mistaken. I always say that if I'm not mistaken. That way, if I am mistaken, I'm owning up to it.
There you go.
All right, here you go. Best record-breaking performance. I'll continue to give you hints. NBA. David's got it.
I heard this on the Dan Patrick Show this morning. Only reason I know what it is. You gave this.
You mentioned
earlier
his name earlier in this competition.
Jokic.
No, you didn't mention his name. Remember, you didn't guess it.
But
correctly.
for that same one that you were supposed to guess, Jokic.
Come on, Jay.
I don't know.
Oh, man.
6-year-old. Does that?
Oh, LeBron.
There you go. That's what correlated.
Yeah.
Was the poke.
6-year-old.
Yes, LeBron James obviously surpassed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's NBA scoring record this past NBA season.
Wow.
So he got the best record-breaking performance. Best play. And I wonder if I don't know if this is the game that I'm thinking of, but it was on the quarterback show yesterday. I'm thinking it's that one. there may be another one? Question mark. But we'll just go right into it. And I'm guessing it's from that game. It may not be from that game. But the best play was Justin Jefferson with the catch of the century.
Okay.
The Vikings were fourth and 18 playing the Bills at home or in Buffalo, and it was just a back and forth game. 4th and 18 on like their own 20, and Kirk Cousins he tells him in the huddle, he's like, I'm just going to throw this one up. You're going to have to get it. Throws it down the right side. Justin goes up with one hand, and the corner's right behind him with his hands right here. Gets the ball in his one hand, and then comes down with it and pulls it away from the guy. Ridiculous.
I would say that might be game of the year. The other play I thought you were talking about was the Sunday Night Football game, Chiefs-Buccaneers, where Patrick Mahomes is kind of dancing there near the sideline and then just like kind of tosses. I mean, that's got to be
well, it's funny. You preluded an answer, what you just said right before that for the best game of the year right there. But yeah, unbelievable catch by Justin Jefferson. Cool. That one, he got the best play. They called it the catch of the century.
Jeez.
It was certainly
got to go back and watch that.
And situationally.
Watch the whole game.
Yeah.
Watch the whole game.
The game is just nuts.
Yeah.
God, nuts that game is. I mean, you get down there. I'm not going to spoil it, but go watch the whole game. But anyway, so they're down.
Like spoiling Coach Carter.
I'm going to spoil. Yeah, the game's already happened. It happened last year. I mean, it's common knowledge. But yeah, he makes that catch. They go down to like the half-yard line, and I learned that Cousins actually called that play himself. The coach, what's his name for the Vikings?
O'Connell,
the new coach, first year. He actually wanted to call a timeout and give him a different formation, and Cousins calls in the huddle QB sneak, and he tries to go up the left side, gets stopped there on the 1 yard, or on it was like stopped like right there.
Right.
It was on 4th down. They're down by I think they were down by 4 at the time, and they thought the game was over. And then I don't know if it was the next play.
It was the next daggone play.
It was the next daggone play. You heard it right there. They're so close on the goal line, so Allen lines up under center, and they're going to try to sneak it just to get some room. He fumbles the snap. Minnesota recovers the ball in the end zone for a touchdown, and they go up by 3.
Wow.
But it's not over yet.
Oh.
The Bills get the ball back. They drive all the way down the field, kick I want to say like a 37-yard field goal to send the game to overtime. Then the Bills get the ball again. Was the Bills get the ball again, I think? Anyway, the Bills had the ball. They're driving. Look like they're going to win the game. And Josh Allen throws an interception in the end. No, the Vikings started with the ball, got a field goal. They got Cousins got sacked when they were on like the 2-yard line, and they ended up scoring. Kicked a field goal, and then the Bills go down, and Allen throws an interception in the end zone. And
if Brian Daboll was the OC, there's no way that they call a quarterback sneak in your own goal line, on your own goal line, essentially, to just try to give yourself some room. You don't.
Even if you get the safety, you're up by what? They were up by 3 at the time.
It was either 3 or 4.
It was 4. It was 4 because they went up by 3 after they scored and got the extra point. But yeah, even if you take a safety there, you can still let your defense stop them. You're going to be up by 2 points. And they just botched the snap. And
that sounded like a Roger Goodell conspiracy to me, man.
Here we go.
Yeah, it was part of the script.
Part of the script.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I don't know how you stop yourself on the half. But
yeah. I know there's so much. That's why NFL is so good, man, because you don't see much, like more. If it's 2 touchdowns, that's a blowout.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is.
And how many times do we see 3 minutes, 4 minutes left to go? Teams are down by 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns, sometimes even 17 points, and then
the Chiefs do it all the damn time. It's like their MO. They go down, and still bitter about the Super Bowl when they were up. Niners were up 20-10.
Run the ball, Kyle.
Well, and Kyle, I saw a quote. Kyle said, "Everybody says I never run the ball." He's like, "I run the ball more than any other team in the entire league."
But the wrong times.
But the wrong times, Not this year. This year's our year. Except for that Philadelphia beat report writer calling out the Niners, saying they're the most overrated or most hyped up contender in like NFL history for this season coming up. He's just a Philadelphia, trying to stir up stuff. It's that time of year. You got to stir up stuff. It's like the rumor yesterday saying that the Falcons reached out to the Niners about Trey Lance and offering a second round pick for him. It's just rumors. But
it's like, I mean, I said it to you on one of the breaks a few days ago. I mean, even though there's so many dogs on that Eagles, I will root against the Eagles every game this year. Every game.
Your college, and then when you get to that NFL, that goes out the window.
Yeah, it does.
If you're a true, but you divorced your Falcons though, so
yeah.
And now you're a Bills fan.
Yeah, I'm a Bills fan. I like the Bills.
Different conference than the Eagles.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. It's just like with Alabama though. There's play in Georgia now as well. They're all
on the same team.
They're all over the league. But man, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a team that I like hate. I'm not a big fan of the Colts or the Texans, but I mean, it's kind of the AFC South is just so watered down right now that there's not a bunch of rivalries in it.
Yeah.
I just don't like the Texans that much because they always are like, oh, we should wear the Oilers uniforms. Like, no. You're a franchise. You're the Houston Texans. You never had anything to do with the Houston Oilers.
Nope, absolutely not.
Who was it? Warren Moon?
Yeah, Warren Moon.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can think about when I think of Oilers is Warren Moon.
That's a good one.
Is there anybody else?
Haywood, Jeffries, Eddie George, a little bit there.
Eddie George,
Earl Campbell. I mean, there's some names.
Yeah.
Frank Wycheck.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was actually ever a Houston Oiler. I remember him very well with the Tennessee Oilers and Tennessee Titans.
Yes.
Music City Miracle, baby.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
That's right. All right, just running through kind of the rest of these. Best breakthrough athlete, that was Angel Reese from the LSU Tigers winning that national championship, kind of putting that team on her back there. Best boxer was Clarissa Shields, I think it's Clarissa. Best championship performance, soccer player. Name the first soccer player that comes to your mind.
Don't have one.
Oh, man, don't have one.
I love that answer.
It's a great answer.
Ain't got one.
It's a great answer.
Don't have one.
Hey, you don't keep anything secret from us. You just put it all out there. Don't have one. It's not Cristiano Ronaldo.
He just signed with the MLS. Won the World Cup.
We've talked about him before. Yeah, won the World Cup. That's the best. That's the best championship performance right there.
If you can't use your hands, I can't.
You can.
Yeah,
if you're a goalie.
They sometimes call me Mr. Hanley.
Mr. Hanley.
Yeah, so
I'm gonna leave that one alone because I could have went a bad direction there with the demographic that absolutely loves when you're on the show. But anyway, it was Lionel Messi from Argentina when they won the World Cup. He finally got his the coveted World Cup when Argentina won it this past FIFA season. And then best athlete. It's one we've already mentioned. Best male athlete or best athlete in men's sports. I think this is fair. It's one you've already had to guess.
Really?
Yes.
Adam Sandler? Waterboy?
Patrick Mahomes.
Oh.
Patrick Mahomes.
This sounded like this.
That was a Kermit impression.
Yeah.
That peaked with Miss Piggy.
Yeah.
Best comeback athlete. I'm not even going to worry about it. Jamal Murray from the Denver Nuggets. Best UFC fighter. I'm going to let David guess on this one.
Oh, man, that's going to be tough. I'm going to throw a dart here and say Israel Adesanya.
No, but throw another guess because you'll get it.
John Jones?
John Jones won best UFC
I guess
fighter.
For his comeback?
Yeah, I think so. So they gave him the best. Best WNBA player. I think it's Aja Wilson.
Oh, I think it's pronounced AJ Wilson.
AJ,
but don't quote me on that.
Her last name's Wilson. We're gonna run with that.
There you go, Wilson.
Best team. I feel like they always give the best team to the Super Bowl winner, Jay, and that was
Super Bowl Kansas City.
Look
there
at you.
Kansas
This
City
whole
Chiefs.
segment, 20 minutes,
Boom.
and we finally got you to get the right answer.
There you go.
Again. That's fantastic.
It is fantastic.
Fantastic. Best college, a couple of the not so big time ones. Best college athlete was the Heisman winner from 2 seasons ago, and that was
Don't know.
dead air. Bryce Young.
Oh man.
Oh, man. Best NBA player, Steph Curry. Best NFL player, Aaron Rodgers. Best WNBA player, Candace Parker. Best NHL player, Connor McDavid. Best athlete, men's golf, Justin Thomas? Question mark?
Question mark.
So you should have had him guess on that.
Well, this is at the very, very bottom.
Okay.
This
I
is
wouldn't
the
have
more.
guessed Justin Thomas.
Okay, I'll get him on one. I know.
Who would y'all go with though? Who was the best golfer last year?
Scotty Scheffler.
But
he won a bigger category, I think.
Yeah.
All right, just real quick. I know we got to take a break in a second. Best athlete, women's golf, Nelly Korda. Let's get this one. Best driver in NASCAR.
Best driver in NASCAR.
You've got 4 seconds.
Chase Elliott.
No.
Dang it.
Guess again. I'll give you 2. I'll give you 3.
Oh my gosh.
I'll let David guess.
Byram.
No.
Give him one more guess, and I want to.
One more guess.
Allmendinger.
Kyle Larson.
Yes, bingo.
Kyle Larson, really?
He's back there bringing the...
Kyle Larson, like Chase Elliott is probably the most popular, but I would say that many would make the argument Kyle Larson's the best doing it right now from the younger stage, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Best jockey was Jose Ortiz. Best Olympian men's was Caleb Dressel in swimming. Best women's and Olympian was Katie Ledecky, which is very well earned. Best WWE moment, Cody Rhodes returned to WWE. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. We will be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The tradition continues.
That ball is going to be out of here.
America's team plays here.
Bombs away.
The Atlanta Braves are back and making a statement.
Ronald Acuna just clobbered one to left.
Listen to Atlanta Braves baseball in a rich audio experience live on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Here comes the thunder.
Sponsored by Billbird Kia, Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, Mid-South Lumber, Stormore Portable Buildings, and Brock Pest Control.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida with your Thursday's weather. The remainder of the day, there will be a moderate breeze out of the west-southwest, likely thunderstorms, and some clouds, and 85. A likelihood of thunderstorms and partly cloudy skies tonight, about the same, 81. Tomorrow, likely thunderstorms and a high of 85. The same at 85 Saturday, and we'll have a variety of some clouds and likely thunderstorms. This forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumberyard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Take your next adventure in an eco-friendly all-electric Kia EV6 that gives you the movement that inspires. You can live fully charged while saving now and down the road on fuel costs. Schedule a test drive today and explore the electrified Kia vehicles at Billbird Kia. You have to drive it to believe it. Now offering $7,500 EV lease bonus when you lease a new 2023 Kia EV6 Wind Electric all-wheel drive for 36 months. You'll get the perfect balance of comfort, safety, and technology with a performance that minimizes the impact of our environment. Billbird Kia is the home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. See us today at 2435 East 15th Street or BillbirdKiaPanamaCity.com. We make it easy to switch to EV ownership and give you the peace of mind you can trust. Close-in lease based on a new 2023 Kia EV6, model number N5452. No security deposit required. $7,500 EV lease bonus not available for cash. Subject to credit approval, dealer participation, and vehicle availability. $49.99 due at signing for well-qualified leases. See dealer for complete details. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Billbird Kia warranty. Must take delivery from dealer stock through 9/5/23.
Welcome to the Inside Drive, the next big thing.
It's a big, huge, giant deal.
Sports betting, huge reactions, your calls and real-time coverage of the stories you're following. Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios. On ESPN Northwest Florida.
I got royalty inside my DNA.
And you're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Sitting inside the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick at GMC and Kramer Marine and Outdoor Studios, I do believe we have our good friend and gambling expert, Alan Sandage, on the line. Alan, how are you doing today?
I'm good, man. You guys got to stop saying gambling expert after I come in off losses.
Hey, but that's part of gambling. That's why it's called gambling. It's your overall percentage. It's not small clips. That's for sure.
From now on, I'm gonna just share it in the chat, and then you guys will tell them on air, because it seems like the ones I share in the chat win, and the ones I say on air just don't win at all.
No, I feel that all too well, and we haven't even got to football season yet.
Well, catch me up on your
National
losses
League,
there.
baby.
That's right. That's right.
What'd you lose to there, Alan? I'm catching up, man. I'm this is my Tuesday here in the on the show, man. This is my second day of the week. But what'd you lose? What'd you bet on? What'd you lose?
It was actually from last week, but
was it? Oh, never mind.
Yeah, it was from last week. But I did bet the National League to win the All-Star game, and I just wanted to drop this tidbit with folks. Like, no matter what, when you're betting, if a team or a trend has hit like 10 times in a row, it's more than likely it's going to lose sooner than later, because things have to even out. So for football, you definitely should look into football. Teams that are on hot streaks against the spread, picking the perfect time to fade them is usually after like those double-digit, like crazy streaks. So you can find value in that. I went with the National League to win, and they had lost the last 10 All-Star games. And it didn't look all that great at first, and then they pulled through. And you could really just chalk it up to just being the balance. That's statistically, it's got to balance out. Like they're too good to lose so many times.
Yeah, it's tough. It's like the Niners last year. If you got on that streak, and I think you did, got on that streak where they run 8 in a row, I stopped betting as it got further into that winning streak because I was like, at some point it's going to come back, but it really didn't until that NFC Championship game, and that was a completely outlier situation when it comes to that.
Yeah, you have to. Sometimes you have to play it by ear a little bit because NFL is the lines are set so tight. Is really it's really hard to just throw the money out there and be like, oh, it'll be fine. Now, college football, you can get away with that. NFL, you got to really look at the number when you're betting just to make sure you're not getting a sucker bet, and they do that a lot in the NFL.
Why is that? Is it just because the NFL teams are more even? What makes the difference between the lines and or is it just being capped so much better?
Well, it's one is being capped so much better because there's a crap ton of money involved in it, and then two, you have to respect the level of competition in the NFL. As you know, people say all the time, any given Sunday, that's the true thing. Any given Sunday, a team can get a little flat, especially when you're talking division games and people have film on you, and they've played you multiple times and so forth. It does get more and more difficult to cover the number. So I typically try to stick with trends in division per se, but also keep in mind travel time and distance. Like, I shared with you guys about, how Kyle Shanahan prepares on the East Coast, the little nuances that he does, which helps the 49ers not fall flat when they travel east. Whereas a lot of teams, when they go coast to coast, like you can almost bet the Arizona Cardinals are not winning their first East Coast game on that swing. You can literally almost bet that trend every time.
You paying attention?
I am. This is good.
Luckily, we'll be talking about these things in excess as we get a little bit closer to, I think it's 58 days, maybe 59 days till September 7th, something like that. 44 days to the start of college football.
Yes, sir.
As Randy posted on social media yesterday on our page. I didn't know what 45 meant, but then I learned.
Right.
But yeah, no, just exciting stuff, that's for sure.
I had some future baseball bets I was looking at. I wanted to share with you guys. The Cardinals came out and said they were going to be sellers during the MLB trade deadline. Said they're going to just basically pack it in and focus on the future, which is a little upsetting because the Cardinals are like the New England Patriots of baseball. They're always consistently at the top, but it just fell flat this year. They are currently at 75.5 wins total for the season. At the halfway point, fully staffed, they had 38 wins. So if they're really going to be sellers, I find it hard to believe they're going to get over 75 wins. So I'm taking the under there.
Jay, did you pay attention to that one? Cardinals under season win total from here on out.
Okay. All right.
And then the Guardians are at 81.5.
That's the team in Cleveland, Jay.
Yeah. You can maybe find it at 80.5. I mean, they're at the halfway point. They're at 45 wins, and they're literally sitting perfectly at 500. I don't think they're going to play under 500 ball for the rest of the season. I picked them to win this division in the first place. They've had some injury issues that they've been dealing with, and I feel like they're going to get healthier on the swing. And there was talks of them being sellers for their pitching, but if they do sell some pitching, they've actually got a lot of young arm talent that they can call up and still be competitive. But with it being so close, 81, 82 wins, I think they're going to shoot for at least 85 because that's probably the number they got to get to win their division. And so I'm going to take them to get over.
All right. There you go. That's the Guardians.
The Guardians.
The Cleveland Guardians. Yes, winning their division at 500.
The home of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
And listen, the Guardians are a frustrating team. I'll just put it. That's my disclaimer. Don't bet it and watch every game. You will pull your hair out. They're 500 for a reason. Trust me.
It's like the stock market. You just put it in there and you stop paying attention to it until it's the time to pull it out.
There you go.
Yep. Come back around mid-September and check in again.
Nice.
We will.
So there you go. So the second half starts tonight, right? Like, are we All-Star break?
Tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow? Okay.
Yep.
It's today, and I heard it on your show, David. I think today and 2 days ago, or yesterday, I forget, the 2 days you didn't have any major professional sports on.
Oh, yeah.
Not today, because you've got golf.
So the day before the All-Star game.
So Monday and Wednesday.
Yeah.
There was nothing.
The only 2 days in the whole year that you don't have one of the major professional sports playing.
I'm depressed.
It's all right.
Yeah.
You did fine.
Depression's supposed to start in the day after the Super Bowl.
That's right.
Yeah. I just take the rest days, man. Like, I know some people, like, I had my friend in the chat complaining, and I was like, dude, think about it. Starting tomorrow, we've got baseball, college football, NFL, college basketball, and NBA. Like, you're going to be exhausted. Like, so just take your 2 days, man. I think it's a great, like, recharge. I didn't even bet horses. I just sat at the house, and my family was like, are you actually talking to us? This is weird.
You're like, hi, my name's Alan, and I didn't place a bet today.
Yeah.
So yesterday was your one day of the year, your one holiday.
I got a picture of my son sleeping on the couch when I was doing the Kansas City Chiefs podcast, and I was like, when did you get here?
Hey, man, you got that Excel spreadsheet? Are you a gambler of an Excel? Do you got an Excel spreadsheet that you kind of keep up with everything?
So I actually have a gift and a curse. I really can remember almost every single bet I've ever placed. Like, I'm like the Sean McVay of sports gambling. Like, I can recall where I was and what I was doing back in 2019 when Maximum Security was cheated out of the Kentucky Derby, and where I was when Northern Iowa upset Texas in the 2019 March. Like, I'm that guy. Wow. I can recall everything. So I don't really use a spreadsheet to write anything down. I track my bets based on the sport. Like baseball, I do every month. Like, I don't know what my overall percentage in baseball is, because it doesn't matter, because what you did in April doesn't matter in May, and that's how baseball is. Whereas in NFL, what you did in September can sometimes matter in December, so I kind of keep that a little bit tighter. College basketball is the same way. I split the season in half. I do the beginning of the season all the way through about Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
Okay.
And then that's typically when you see the teams enter into their conference play. And then I will separate that first half and that second half through the beginning of March, which is when they start their conference tournaments. And then that's the data I take with me into the actual March Madness tournament. Because you kind of have to, like with a lot of the sports that people bet on, you kind of have to do it that way because trends are ever changing. So you don't want to get stuck on things that no longer matter. I talked to the gentleman last night about the Chiefs and a subtle adjustment they made when they got rid of Tyreek Hill. And I was like, if I was still using the data when they had Tyreek Hill, I wouldn't have been on top of, that they were the number one scoring offense and so forth coming into 2022 or the end of 2022. I was like, because the eye test tells you that they're not better, but if you're keeping up currently, you see schematically they've started throwing the ball more underneath, using guys to get more yards after the carry. They're not a vertical-based offense anymore, and the rhythm is better. So you can take more first-half overs with the Chiefs than you would have in years past because they kind of did this thing where they scored just enough in the first half and really kicking on in the second half, but they started a lot quicker this past year because they were taking what defenses were giving them, and that was a systematic change. So that's kind of where I am when it comes to keeping up with trends and how do I follow along with what I'm doing. I just try to stay current.
Versus the Jay Henley school of betting. Oh, that team looks good. I'm going to pick that one.
Hey, that works sometimes.
It does work sometimes because a lot of it is a 50-50 shot.
Every good business has a mission statement, man. Do you have a mission statement, with your betting? Do you have a vision statement?
My mission statement is is lose some, win more.
There you go.
Because you're going to lose. You're going to lose. Like, that's gambling. Nobody goes 100%. But, like, the average gambler, if you're hitting 57 to 62% and you're betting the same amount, you're going to have plus net on your units.
Yep.
Golf is a little different. I say that all the time. We do the golf podcast because the odds are so high. If I win one golf tournament, if I pick one winner out of a month, I'm up.
Yeah.
You can't say that about other sports, but golf would be the variance on that. But for the most part, just go in knowing you're going to lose, but make sure that when you win more.
Yeah.
Patience. Patience.
Yeah.
Patience is key. And, use analytics. Use data to support your decisions, which is what Alan does such a fantastic job. And Keith, they both do a wonderful job of using data. And there's so much more data out there now than there ever used to be for you to really dial it down. And I'm sure you can go a little too far with some of that stuff. And but if you just, and you always say too, you got to bet with your mind, not with your heart.
Yeah.
Because your heart's always going to get you in trouble.
Yeah, that's right.
For sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
So what I'm hoping is one day I'll be able to market myself as the first sports gambler that actually knows the sport. So I'm not just betting it just to bet. There's a lot of guys that I follow on Twitter. They don't know anything about single high coverage or two safeties or anything that the Chiefs are doing. They just know that the Chiefs score.
Yeah.
And I want to be the guy that can explain that to you. Explain to you that Rashee Rice is going to make this a better team, because of his ability to do 50-50 catching and his ability to stretch the field. He's sneaky fast. That 4.5 that he ran in the combine was some BS. Nobody at SMU actually runs 4.5. They're all jet speed. So I want to make sure I still stick to watching the sports and knowing the sports even while I'm gambling.
Well, in football, that's so important because each team plays differently, and the quarterback that you have versus the type of coverages the team plays. What the safeties are doing on particular teams on drives, and then the quarterbacks make those adjustments, and that's what makes differences when you're talking about these spreads and all that kind of stuff. There's so much good stuff to talk about.
Alan, speaking of good stuff, so what's the Sunday afternoon spread, man, as far as food goes when you're watching these Sunday afternoon games, man? What you got?
If I'm at home, I usually smoke some ribs for myself.
Yeah.
If I'm out at the bar, I try to stay with wings. Yeah. If it's been a bad week and if I had a bad Saturday and I'm coming into Sunday, I'm just doing cheese and fries.
Cheese and fries.
What about you, Henley?
Yeah, I'm with the wing. The wings Sunday afternoon. Absolutely, got to go wings. Bone in. Can't go boneless.
Oh, yeah.
You got to go
boneless. Is not a wing. It's a chicken nugget.
Well, that's true.
That's a whole other argument for a whole other show.
Yeah, but chicken wings. Golly, man, any kind of dip. Whatever. Yeah.
Any kind of dip.
Any kind of dip.
Artichoke dip. In the bread bowl.
Anything.
Not bad. Not bad.
Some chili.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you
Copenhagen.
There you go. There you
they
go.
Can
believe it or not, I drink nothing but water when I'm betting. Nothing but water. If you ever see me somewhere and I'm actually drinking liquor, I've probably won a ton of money. I know at MGM last year, I rode the North Carolina run for the longest, man, and I had so much money on Carolina beating Baylor outright. And once they won, I don't even remember anything after that final horn went off because I just got sloppy. But any other time, the people at MGM will tell you, I just drink water. I'm the only guy in the sports book drinking water because I have to be.
You got to be sharp.
I got to be able to see everything, know everything, because if the bet's going bad, the live betting machine is only 5 steps away, so I can still make my money back.
Yep. And then when the alcohol induces not good decisions, you start trying to make your money back, and then you get outside of what you do as a gambler, and that's when it goes south.
Yep.
Yeah. If you ever want a lesson in why you shouldn't drink, go play blackjack.
Yeah.
It'll get you right real quick.
You'll be going good, and then just fall off a cliff, just like golf. Hey, Alan, we got to jump off. We got to do our Blast of Bay Point high-low contest here at this 12:40 break. But as always, appreciate you giving a call, and we look forward to continuing this conversation into the future and hopefully helping some of our listeners make some money.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Take care.
All right. Thanks,
see you, Alan.
All right, if you are listening, get those phones out because it is time to the Northwest Florida, ESPN Northwest Florida presents the Blast at Bay Point. All you've got to do is guess how many gourmet potatoes with tasty toppings did the break room on Joan Ave serve this past weekend. And if you've been paying attention, it's been narrowed down to about 5 numbers. Give us a call, 850-215-6290. The 10th caller in this break will have an opportunity to join us on the line and play some high-low. We'll be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida has the real local fishing report. Hi, this is Tim from Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle. Join me every Friday at 4:20 during the afternoon Underdogs. It's accurate, detailed content from local anglers, plus fishing updates on Saturday and Sunday morning right when you hit the water. Advice and stories from local anglers. Tune into the Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle Fishing Report, exclusively on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hey folks, Chris Kramer with Bill Kramer GM. And the best place to listen to the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey is inside a brand new vehicle from Bill Kramer GM. And I want you to know we've got 10 times the amount of inventory on the ground as we did this time last year, and darn near all of them are discounted. So shop us online at BillKramerGM.com or visit us the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd. We'll make it easy and take great care of you.
Game days are always better at Dave & Buster's. That's because more TV inches, more food and drinks, more space, and more fun make the game we all know and love more special. Nothing beats seeing your favorite team take the field on the 2 12-foot big screens or 26 75-inch TVs. Throw in the arcade experience and you've got a winning atmosphere that no other sports bar can deliver. Follow the fun at Dave & Buster's, Panama City Beach on Facebook and Instagram. Eat, drink, play, and watch sports at Dave & Buster's.
Mid-South Lumber, where they treat you like family. Locally owned and serving the residents of Bay County for over 45 years. Visit their feed store at the Youngstown location for all of your livestock feed, plumbing, electrical, lawn, and garden needs. They also carry local Chautauqua wines, baby chicks, and a full line of poultry supplies to get your chicks started off right. Mid-South Lumber, the biggest little lumber yard in Panama City.
And now the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey.
We're going to have a talk.
Tell me what you know. Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios.
It's a frantic noise.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. And we are about to play high-low. And I believe we have Emmett on the line. Emmett, how are you doing today?
Doing great, man.
Hey, I feel good about this one, Emmett. Hopefully you've been paying attention to all the shows or went back and checked it out. But how many gourmet potatoes with tasty toppings did the break room on Joan Ave serve this past weekend? What you got?
100.
David?
That is too high.
Oh, just a little bit high on that one. We're getting real close now, narrowing this bad boy down. But, Emmett, we appreciate you listening. And don't forget to hang on the line as soon as we get off here for you, as you will win a consolation prize of a large bag of range balls out there at Bay Point Golf Club. Have you played with us at Bay Point before?
Yes, I have.
Okay, awesome. Well, hopefully you got several more opportunities. We got four more opportunities this week, and hopefully we'll get a winner because I believe now there's only 4 numbers left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, only 4 numbers left to choose from if the listener's been paying attention. Jay, you got any questions for Emmett?
Yeah. Hey, Emmett, what's your favorite sports team out there?
Right now, it's got to be Florida State Seminoles.
All right.
There you go. Noles. Absolutely.
What you think? What you think about that season coming up, man?
Well, we've done good, and going through the thing there, but I think we still have a couple of areas that we need to improve on.
Yeah.
And season's going to look good. Now, if we start out really bad, it's going to be a bad season.
Yep.
But we've got to start out strong and show people that Florida State is back.
Yeah, definitely trending in the right direction ever since the coaching change, and a huge Week 1 matchup over there in Orlando against LSU that kind of sets the tone the season for sure. But I think a little more on the line, probably for LSU than Florida State. Y'all can still win that ACC championship, and depending on how you do, maybe get a shot at that playoff. But don't
you see what we did last year?
Absolutely, yeah, man. Just a couple games right there, and kind of halfway through the season, lost 3 out of those 4, and I think this is year's different. I think, and I don't sleep on Jordan Travis making a good Heisman run this year as well. But
if he comes on strong, we'll play well.
Absolutely, I think it's going to be a fun season for all the Florida State Seminoles out there. Emmett, we appreciate you listening and giving us a call. Don't forget to stay on the line. David's going to get your information and tell you how to get that large bag of range balls out there at Bay Point Golf Club.
Thanks a lot, man.
All right.
Yeah, thank you. Care. And thanks for listening. Jay, we're getting awful close. It's only 4 numbers remaining out there. I'm not going to tell you what 4 numbers they are to choose from.
Right.
But certainly a good opportunity to win that round of 2.
Yes, sir.
And it's so exciting. And people are listening, see those phones light up trying to be that 10th caller. And, the break room over there on Joan Rad serves some fantastic food. Don't know if you've ever had the chance to be. It's right there at the intersection of Joan and I don't know what the other street there is, but it's kind of the one when you're coming off of Front Beach.
Yeah.
Going past, there's the Dollar General right there on the corner, right across from there.
Oh, yeah.
Break room is.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And maybe the caller will be able to get out of Bay Point, play some golf.
I would sure hope so. That's the whole point of this
absolutely
thing. Come out and play some golf. And
the greens are rolling true.
Yes, the golf course is in good shape. This in and out rain is certainly a good thing when you're looking for some extra irrigation out there on the golf course, because that Mother Nature irrigation has some extra things in it that pond water just can't put out there.
You got that right.
Yeah,
some nutrition.
Yeah, same thing with your yard and all that good stuff. But couple NFL news coming out. I'm going to jump into the who lost and won the offseason tomorrow, as I know you were going to be finishing up with your camp, as Friday's that big day. But David might be excited about this. He might not. I don't know. So right now, DeAndre Hopkins, he's one of the more high profile free agents that season. But yesterday, he was plus 500 to go to the Tennessee Titans. Well, as of earlier today, he's now minus 300 to go to the Tennessee Titans. So it certainly looks like the next landing spot there for D-Hop is going to be the Tennessee Titans. I want to get your thoughts, Jay, but as David's a Tennessee Titan fan, want to get his thoughts on that real quick.
Yeah, I'd be excited. I mean, he comes in, he'd be the automatic number 1. It gives Treylon Burks like an actual number 1 to look at and try to maybe not emulate that, but you're brought in Treylon Burks to be the replacement for A.J. Brown, or to be the comparison player to A.J. Brown, and then you trade A.J. Brown to the Eagles. So, yeah, I mean, Ryan Tannehill can benefit from that. I think the whole entire Derrick Henry can benefit from that. If I'm DeAndre Hopkins, though, Julio Jones, Andre Johnson, Randy Moss, all of those guys have been Titans, and nothing came from it.
No, it's kind of like
came from it. So, man, if I'm DeAndre, it would be a tough decision to make, but as far as I'm concerned, yes, please come, DeAndre. Yeah. Please, we need you right now. That'll be the only thing that looks like maybe the Titans are trying to move in the right direction and keep that window open, because as it stands right now, it's like, as fans, we have no idea. Now, I think the saving grace is obviously Derrick Henry, but Coach Vrabel and what he's been able to do with
especially on the defensive side of the football. I still can't believe it was it 7-2 y'all were through?
7-3, and then ended up losing the final 7.
How did you become a Titans fan?
My daddy. He was a Houston Oilers fan, and so that's pretty much all of my teams outside of my NBA team, the Indiana Pacers, were because I watched so much sports with my dad. I mean, my dad used to tell the story, especially like at church and stuff. When I was 5 years old, I could tell you the whole Braves batting lineup, their batting averages, and stuff like that, because, I mean, it's always been like that for me, man. Like, that's why I'm not a big movie buff, because I'd rather watch live sports than movies and TV shows and stuff like that, because there's just nothing that compares, at least least through my lenses.
Yeah. I like it.
Good stuff. It's a lot of that. We've talked about that, how you became fans of certain teams. And another kind of some news coming out. Saquon Barkley and the Giants they're kind of at a stalemate right now in their contract negotiations, and now saying that week 1 availability may be in question. The long-term deal deadline is coming up Monday, 4 p.m. Eastern time, 3 p.m. Central time, and they've made no progress on that new contract negotiation. They placed a $10.091 million franchise tag back on him in March, but he's declined to sign that tender in hopes of landing that long-term deal. And interesting to see. Obviously, a lot of people are high on the Giants. Daniel Jones had a great year last year, but a healthy Saquon Barkley was obviously a big part of that. But it seems like another one of these running backs where they're looking for that bigger deal, and it's just not quite there yet because the injury bug always seems to kind of be, I think, the worry in some of these team owners and general managers' minds. So
100% with Saquon Barkley. Why are we going to pay you for what you did at Penn State?
Yeah.
Why are we going to pay you for what you did last year? You did it one time. You stayed healthy one time. Yes, we need you, but we're not going to more than $10 million. How many years do you want? You want 4 years, and you've been healthy once out of your 4-year career. Like
you said, I mean, last year was really I think his first year was good.
Yeah,
and then last year was his good year as well.
50%. And it's injuries. We know the kid's talented as all get out, but if you're the Giants, you have to play this game of, is it really worth it? Because we can get into the draft and draft a running back who's going to at least be there.
Yeah, that's the thing, too. You've got such a pipeline of running backs continuing to come into the league year in and year out.
And then if the Titans underperform, Derrick Henry might be on the trade block.
Yeah.
And then there you go.
That's the business right there.
These cities that have 2 professional teams like the Jets and the Giants, I mean, how does that play a factor into, all that kind of stuff, right? Because New York, in my opinion, I mean, you got Houston, who's a very big metropolis area. I mean, they don't have 2 teams. They don't have 2 professional football teams. What's your thought? I mean, what's your thoughts?
I'm going to throw a fun fact.
All right.
Do you know where the Giants and Jets play?
I want to say the Jets are somewhere in is it in New Jersey?
Yep, both play out of the same.
They're both.
Yeah, MetLife Stadium.
No kidding.
Yep, they've always played out of the same stadium. It used to be the Meadowlands back in the day, and then they built, and then it was Giant Stadium, which was weird. I mean, it was part of the Meadowlands complex. Now it's MetLife Stadium, but some of the worst turf in the league at that stadium, and that may be why Barkley gets hurt so much.
It could be.
So what's your thoughts on, you being up from New Jersey, Ryan, what's your thoughts on a Giants fan versus a Jets fan? Like, how would you portray those individuals?
Good question. There's a lot of different, and I'm being a San Francisco 49ers fan and then, moving there. I was a New Jersey Devils fan, but I wasn't a Yankees fan, a Mets fan, a Giants fan, a Jets fan, any of that stuff. But you got to throw in Philadelphia in there as well because, Philadelphia is really close, and then you've got the 2 New York teams, and then you got the Islanders, the Rangers, the NBA, the Brooklyn Nets, all that stuff. I would say Jets fans are a little crazier than Giants fans. Giants fans seem to be a little calmer, a little more normal.
I guess that comes when you win more Super Bowls.
Yeah, there's something to be said for that.
Now, would you consider that the Giants are more inner city folks versus Jets? Are they inner city? Or is Jets more of a? I don't know. I'm curious.
If I were to say who's more of a New Yorker, I would say Jets fans.
Jets.
For sure.
Okay.
I would say Giants fans aren't the Yankees are the New Yorker. The Mets are not the New Yorker.
Yeah.
Right.
And I would say that's how you split it between the Giants and the Jets. My 5th grade teacher, Mrs. Coakley, she was a huge Giants fan, and they won the Super Bowl that year.
Yeah.
And it was good. It was good. We didn't have to do anything after they won the Super Bowl. So it was awesome.
Right.
That's like a whole semester.
Yeah, it was good stuff.
But think about Pittsburgh fans versus Philadelphia fans. That's
it's like a whole other part of the country. Philadelphia and Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
that's apples to oranges for sure. Now Philadelphia fans, sorry, Caveman Rick, but man, Philadelphia fans are brutal.
One of a kind.
One of a kind is right. That's for sure. I wouldn't go to a away game at one of the Philadelphia, whether it's hockey,
go to the Phillies
baseball,
with a Braves jersey on.
Oh gosh, Now, the flip side of that, my roommate in college, both of them were from Philadelphia, both huge Eagles fans, and we went to a Monday night football game in Atlanta, and he wore a T.O. jersey.
Oh.
Didn't go so well for him, especially since they lost.
Oh. Y'all bolted out of there quick, huh?
Well, it was funny, too. We drove from Myrtle Beach, which is like 5.5 hours, and we drove out there for the Monday night game, and we were driving back afterwards, but a hurricane was coming in, so we found out on our way back that classes got canceled, so it made the trip back just a little bit easier, because it was a long drive after a Monday night football game.
Yeah.
Long drive.
Yeah.
Long drive. But I think Vic was the quarterback for
the Falcons.
No, he might have been. No, it wasn't that long. I was going to say for the Eagles because he played for the Eagles as well, but it was definitely Falcons back then because I think I went and bought a Vic jersey just for that game because I couldn't go with a guy wearing a Terrell Owens Eagles jersey and not wear a Falcons jersey. Then I'd be guilty by association.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. I wish that didn't happen at stadiums, though.
It does. It's a real thing. Oh, I know.
I just wish that it didn't because, I mean, you should be able to go to another stadium and wear your stuff. But now I'm all good with name calling. All good with name calling and maybe even some hand gestures and stuff like that. But don't be throwing beers and batteries and punches.
That's an actual crime. Yeah.
Well, it's just, I mean, the whole point of sports, though, is that is the beauty of sports. Is like we don't want to agree. We want to disagree. But but we're all here for the same thing, which is the football game, the baseball game, the basketball game.
I mean, I remember going to a Bulldog Gamecocks in Columbia, South Carolina, and it had just got half. I mean, I think we won 7-6. Georgia did.
Border bash.
Yeah, and it was hot. I mean, there was a hurricane brewing somewhere in the Gulf. I do remember that. But, yeah, 7-6. It was 105 degrees. The first half is over with, and I see a Gamecocks guy. He's like 85 years old. And then the Bulldogs fan was next to him, and he was about 82 years old. And they went to blows at the half. And I'm like, guys, like, come on. I mean, what are y'all doing? I mean, it's crazy. I mean, I don't get it.
Alcohol.
Is that what it is? I don't know.
Alcohol.
You can blame it on the Henny. You can blame it on the Chris. Blame it on the There you go, Jay.
There you go.
I mean, that certainly fuels the emotions and the fire. That's for sure.
It must. It must.
And college football always seems to be a little more, and I'm probably making a bad generalization, but college football rivalries seem to be a little more intense when it comes to that kind of stuff. Now, up in, the Philadelphia and that kind of stuff, definitely, you get some of that action going on. But the tailgating is where you see a lot of stuff go down.
Right.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
But tailgating is just the best.
It is, man.
Just the best.
Sure.
When's the last time you've been to a Georgia game?
My gosh.
Don't tell me it was that game.
No.
Last time we went to a Georgia game, he was Ubering people around.
That's right.
Yeah. No, you remember that, right? No, it was Georgia Notre Dame a couple years ago. Ooh. Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, Georgia Notre Dame, 3 or 4 years ago. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It's been 3 or 4 years ago, but yeah, that was a good one. Notre Dame,
the gold helmets. Yep.
Ended up beating them. I can't remember the score, but we ended up beating them pretty good.
You beat a lot
23-17.
There you go.
2019.
There you go.
Look at you.
There you go.
With the memory.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. We got about 1 minute left to go today, Jay.
Go to an SEC game this year. Somebody,
Somebody go and report back. I guarantee there's lots of people going to SEC games. Go to some Florida State games. It's just down the road.
Yeah, right down the road.
They'll be fun to watch this year.
Oh, yeah. We went to the that Florida State Notre Dame game a couple years ago. That was a good time.
Oh, cool.
I thought they were going to come back and win. That was a great game.
Was that last year?
It was just the year before.
It was the year before.
Yeah.
It wasn't last year, but it was the year before.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't forget, you can your next opportunity to play high-low is going to be at 5:40 this afternoon with David Hayes and the Afternoon Underdogs. If you were paying attention, there's only 4 numbers it could be to win that round of golf. We'll be back tomorrow. We won't have Jay, but we're looking forward to having you back on Monday, right?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely, and then I'll figure some stuff out for next week. While you're teaching the use of the world, you're listening to The Inside Drive. We'll see you tomorrow.
It's here. The 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida app version 2.0. Now